All right, what up, though? What's up, everybody? Welcome to a stream that I did not think I was doing today, man. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. I am not feeling 100%. I don't even think I'm 50%, but I said the people need me. The people was calling, they put up the syndicate signal in the sky, bro, and I had to come through. I am running on nothing right now, bro. I got my Celsius. Whole family was hit with something. I had my son and wife was dealing with something, and my son and I got sore throats, and then my last night was just felt like I was swallowing razor blades. Today it feels a little better. I didn't even moisturize the beard. But we here, bro. We here. And oh man, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, bro. It's time for your boy to cook. It's time for your boy to cook, man. Oh. Hold on now. Let me show y'all something. I want to shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I hope everybody's, I had no videos planned today. It's funny, man. I disappeared for like a day. Y'all be like, where you at, dog? Where you at? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lions Syndicate got an official TikTok. If you're on TikTok, if you're not, I don't blame you. If you are, go ahead, give it a follow. It'll be like chop ups and stuff like that. We got some new content coming for y'all this fall. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a season ticket holder. So that's going to provide new content. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. Oh, this right here. Your boy Cook with this one, bro. Let me show you this one right here. Let me show you this one. I was going to show y'all by surprise. I'm going to get a shirt made like this. Why so syndicate? Let's go, man. I'm all pro Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. And then it's Spider-Man after that. But I got to embrace my inner Joker for this one, bro. Y'all done turned me into the Joker. You see the syndicate signal in the sky, man. Oh, yeah. Why so syndicate? I'm going to get my shirt, one just for me, and I'm going to wear it during my videos sometimes, man, because I'm feeling some type of way. Let me shout people in the chat, man. My throat is hurting. I'm sweating. I'm telling you, man, but we here. Shout out to, we got Michael, Braylon, Robert, we got Melodrama, Chad is in the building, Snowy Lions, Fave, Matt, Red's Too Crazy. What up, Chad? Who else we got? Shout out to the big homie moving to Detroit. Yes, sir. Yes, Justin May, the rapper, says Chuck Norris passed away last Thursday. That is correct, man. You know what's crazy about it is you don't really think about people passing until they do. And then it's like, wow, Chuck Norris was 84 years old. And it's like, he was around a long time. Walker, Texas Rangers, just a long time, man. Fought with Bruce Lee, which I never got to see. I think he was already dead before I was born. So, yeah, man. Braylon says, glad I'm back. Well, hey, look, y'all literally got me out the bed. Like, I'm not even kidding, man. I could not sleep last night. And I had to cancel all my appointments today. I had like 2 appointments. I had to cancel them. And I'm literally laying in the bed. And my phone is on Do Not Disturb, so I don't check it. I'll check it, every so often. So I check it, and I see all these, and I'm like, okay, ain't nothing really happened. And then I see that Brad Holmes he done had an interview. That Mr. Mathias done came out of hiding. So I have not seen this interview. We're going to watch it together. So I am excited about that. What up, Raw Detroit in the building? God Monkey says, what you do if we trade up for Caleb Downs? I don't know, bro. We just gonna have to see that. Was talking crazy. I didn't see it. What up? Denny says, what up, though? What up, stranger? Sick or not? We have schedules to keep. Oh, he was 86 years old. Wow. Okay. He was 86 years old. Justin May, the rapper, says you can see the fight between Bruce Wayne and Chuck Norris if you watch the movie The Way of the Dragon. Really? Okay. Bruce Lee, you mean? I know I was watching one movie, man, where the dude had like what's the movie? That might be one of the Enter the Dragon or something where the dude had he had the bronze hand, Brand, and nobody knew it, and he chopped somebody up. I remember, man, you see that stuff as a kid and you be spooked. You be like, but shout out to everybody, man, that been subscribed over a week or more. I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I had no plans. I was just gonna be in the bed underneath the cover. I don't know if you ever had it's weird, man. You get sick, right? So I don't know if you guys had COVID before. I've had it twice, and it starts in the throat. For me, it starts in the throat. So every time my throat is the first thing to bother me, I think I have COVID. And so my throat is just, on fire yesterday. Nothing's helping. And it's weird because it moves like now it's been it's been over a day. So now like now the pain is not as severe, but I can feel it moving up in my throat. It's so weird, man. And then like tomorrow I'll probably be coughing up phlegm and stuff. Yeah, I know. Too much information, but so I be taking these little tonic shots and everything, man, trying to avoid being sick. You know, us men, man, we don't like to be sick. So I got a doctor's appointment next week. Oh man, just the whole nine. So anyway, but we here. A to Z Sports is saying Taylor Decker might come back to the Lions. Well, from what I saw, somebody on Twitter said that after this interview, they don't think Taylor's coming back. So, but we don't have a left tackle. We do not have a left tackle. And no, Penei Sewell has not been moved to left tackle yet. So we either don't have a left tackle or a right tackle. That's what's up. Matthias on the high seat. Really? How long can you see how long someone's been subscribed? Maurice, no, you cannot. You cannot see that, unfortunately. I hope YouTube does bring that in. You can only see if they are a public subscriber or a private. If they're a public subscriber, it'll say public. If they're private, it won't say anything at all. But you can't see how long. You can see how long people's been a member, but you can't see how long they've been public. So, been sub for over a year now. Let me see. Man, what? Oh, he deleted it. Okay. If you can, if there's a bot in the chat, you can track stuff like that. Oh, really? Fave, you know what? Justin May the Rapper says, are you planning on trying to go golfing this summer? You know what, Justin May the Rapper? Probably not. What I'll probably do is after I get some things kind of in order, then I'll start, like, I keep telling myself, I said at 45 I was going to start golfing, and now I'm on my way to 47. So, but I'm done with all, like, the basketball and all that. Nah, bro. I'll be popping Achilles. I'm almost 50 years old. I can't even. Did y'all know that Godfrey the comedian is 56 years old? I'm like, dog, I can't believe that. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good week. Good start to the week. Again, being sick sucks. It always kind of hinders you. The one good thing is you get to like lay in the bed. You know what I'm saying? Typically, you lose some weight when you sick. You lose 2 or 3 pounds or whatever. So that's all a good thing. I got a story to tell y'all, right? Real quick, and then we'll get into the reaction. Men, I need y'all to watch out for football season. Football season is a killer. It is a absolute killer. There's a lot of small things that'll add up on you, right? Now, unless you're one of them people that you can gain weight and lose weight very easily, watch out for football season, because I have a scale and I have an app attached to that scale, and I got on the scale, and I mean, it's like a roller coaster. It shoots up, and exactly during the football season, literally from October to February, the amount of pounds that I gain is unbelievable. I'm like, oh no, nope. So got to cut down on the Vizzies, got to cut down on the Trulies. I got to cut down on all of that stuff. And now with me being a season ticket holder, either I got to start walking or I got to cut it out. Now, I don't park close to the stadium on purpose. I park about a mile away. So it's a 2-mile walk there and back. So I'm going to have to start doing that because, yo, I can't even believe it. I could not believe it. It's a straight up like the equivalent of like the Magnum. And I could not believe it, bro. So anyway, I'm on this whole weight loss thing. I've cut out alcohol. Haven't had a drink in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Not even a White Claw. None of that stuff, because it all adds up. So anyway, yeah, it's time to get real. Have you reacted yet? No, I have not. Hey, listen. Now, this ain't gonna be a quick reaction. So I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you got something to do, I want you to pause it. When you gotta leave, pause it. You know, when you leave a chat, come on back. It'll start from the last place you at. This ain't gonna be a quick reaction. Last time, it's gonna be a minute. Okay, so we're going to try and get the school-age kids. If you under 18 and you got school in the morning, you can watch it when you get out of school tomorrow. But we're going to be here for a minute because this is a 51-minute interview, and it looks like they get right into it. So I wanted to do a little housekeeping first, and then we're going to get into it. Jay, what up, Jay? Are you saying you gained? Well, yes, Braylon, quite a bit, man. Who drinks alcohol? Yeah, exactly. So the stress from the Lions keep you slim is what you're saying. No, dog, it went the other way. It's like this. It's literally a diagonal line like this. I couldn't believe it. So I'm like, during the football season, and the crazy thing is I don't eat crazy, so it must be the drinks. It must be the drinks, man. So drinks are It don't matter how low calorie they are bad. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to weight, they are really bad. If you cut them out, you will probably drop pounds just by doing that. But anyway, I learned a valuable lesson, and that's stay away. So anyway, unless I'm up my routine, you know what I'm saying, to like burning 500 calories a day, I'm not going to be able to eat, to drink at the games. That's just how it's going to be. All right. So we are here today. Throat blazing, sick, but we here, man. I had to show up. The people wanted me to show up, so I showed up. And we're going to react to a presser, not a presser. It is an exclusive interview in a world where four gentlemen, where the Lions Collective, Nope. You want to pause that because we want to start from the beginning. The Lions Collective, which is a group of individuals. You got Justin Rogers, Will Birch, I think it's Birchfield. You've got Colton Pouncey of The Athletic, and then you have Jeff Iafrate. And they scored an exclusive interview with Brad Holmes. And it is 51 minutes. They get straight into it and kind of popped out of nowhere. I don't know if you guys saw this coming, but I did not. Came out of nowhere. Let me see. It came out of nowhere, and just everybody's been talking about it. So I have not heard it yet. So that's what we're here to do. So again, we're going to be here for a minute. But it's Tuesday and ain't really too much going on. If you got something going on, you can always come back and watch it later. So I pulled myself out of bed for this one, cracked open the Celsius, and I might have to stop and go take some NyQuil or some Dayquil in between this because my throat is on fire. And when you talk, it makes it worse. So anyway, here we go. This is Brad Holmes, man. Now, this is the guys over at the Collective. So the Collective, I don't know what this is, but it's very similar to me of like, what's their name? Locked On, where you'll see these groups popping up and I've seen a few collectives, and it's typically you'll have some credentialed people on the panel. Like all of these guys are credentialed, I think. I don't know how credentialed Jeff is, but I know he was at the combine and stuff like this. But you have Justin Rogers, which is to Brad Holmes. If you look at Brad's left, your right, that's Justin in the brown shirt. He used to work for the Detroit News. Now he runs his own independent thing. You've got Will in the gray tracksuit. You've got Jeff. Everybody knows him from Crunch Time and formerly Woodward Sports. And then you got Colton on Jeff's right. All right. And there's Bradley Mathias in the middle. Now, listen, the first thing that I need to say is this. You know, I appreciate these fellas. I really, really do. Okay. But I'm going to need y'all. Why is all of this framing up like this? We can't see. You cut out 33% of the frame for the little goofy stuff on the sideline, bro. And I respect these dudes. I do, but we trying to see facial expressions. And unless you got 5 cameras, well, you would need 6 in this instance. You would need 1 wide and then 1 on all of them. So my guess is this is 1 camera. You got to get rid of the framing, dog. Don't nobody care about Spotify and all of that. Come on, man. This is 33%. And yes, I'm like that. I complain about that stuff because that is 30. I'm trying to see this brother's face. And I don't know if they zoom in on this. But you got to get rid, if you have an interview like this, you got to get rid of the framing. Nobody cares about Spotify and all the little foreheads up there, bro. Like real talk. Look at all this space that they leaving out that could be zoomed in. This screen could be 33% larger. Anyway, it's a little pet peeve of mine, bro. So let's get into it, man. Bradley Mathias, out of nowhere. Only the second time this offseason that we've seen this guy. What y'all saying in the comments? Hold on, let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Bro, you don't realize how much talking takes out of you until you're sick. Even the smallest thing that you do is exhausting. It's crazy, bro. Glasses says, what's up? Any new job? What's up? Any new job advice? Just started a new job. Don't be late. Do your best, be yourself and climb the scale. Yes, I know it's the alcohol, bro. I know it is. I know it. And the thing about it is, it doesn't matter how low calorie the alcohol is supposed to be, that's what it is. It doesn't matter. And so I finally learned that. I finally, you could drink a Truly, you could drink a Vizzy, you might be able to drink one or two, but you can't drink all, you know what I'm saying? Like, All right. Chad says, Brad going to talk about how he tried free agency. He tried for Crosby. Brad is going to be mumbling all over the place. Over under 5 times Derek takes his glasses off during the video. Okay, Fave. So actually, I'm going to keep him off for most of this video because my ears, when I wear my glasses with these, it hurts my ears. So it presses on my ears. So unless I need them, I'm going to probably keep them off. And look, I'm barely here. I had to like rise out of the bed, bro, like, and do this. So, because I knew it had to be done. All right. Without further ado, here we go. Here we go, man. Oh, shoot. Shout out to these guys, bro. Let me at them. So I have not seen this. I don't know how the questions are. I've heard really good things about the questions, that there were some hard-hitting questions here, so I would hope so. But shout out to these guys, man, because Brad has been ducking the media all offseason. He's been ducking, and for these guys to score an interview with him, and you can see this is in Allen Park. This is actually the room where the post-game show, is at, the post-game questions and such. So this is a big deal. So shout out to these guys, man. All right, let's get it started.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions Collective on a very, very special.
First of all, don't start it until the mics are settled, bro. And let me know if they too loud. Let me know if they too loud, bro.
Episode. I'm your host, Jeff Iafredi from Crunch Time Sports. Alongside me, Colton Pouncey from The Athletic, Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network, and Will Birchfield, 97.1 The Ticket. And we have a very special guest today, Detroit Lions General Manager, Brad Holmes. Before we get started, I got to clarify something. So I'm joined by 3 professionals.
Now, let me say this. The first thing I'm going to tell you is I'm on the other side. I want a chair directly across. They're going to have to put me on the other side, man. They're going to have to put me on the other side because I'm not. No, ain't no crash outs. Ain't no crash outs coming. I'm either going to be sitting where Will is sitting, or Colton is sitting. That's facts.
Professionals. I am the talking head. So I'm going to have a little bit different of a perspective today, more so from the.
All right. So, yes, Jeff was one of the first people. When Woodward started falling off a cliff, Adam was first. And then once Adam left, everything started to fall by the wayside. It was Adam. Then I think it was Jeff. Now, most of the cast is completely gone. Like, there's a few people from when all of those guys were there, but the morning show ain't the morning show anymore. Jeff is not there. I think Booner was there at one point. Flannel's not there anymore. So the whole thing is completely different. But yes, Jeff was a part of the early Woodward days. I think they've been gone for a little over, I think it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years since they've started Crunch Time.
Fans. But I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I think this is a cool setup. Ask anything.
No. Why? Why could it not be me? Why could it not be me? Fave said he about to pause 100 times. Well, Fave, that's kind of what I got to do. That's what makes it fair use. So I kind of got to do that, but I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try not to, and as I pause, right? I'm going to try not to pause 100 times. But we got to dissect it. This brother is only in front of the media during the offseason. This is only his second appearance. Well, no, his third. It was after the season, at the combine, and now this. And this is a more intimate setting. You know what I'm saying? So ask anything. That's what he said. I hope these brothers don't disappoint. If you haven't seen this, if you've seen this, I hope he doesn't disappoint. But you're right, because the first question that I would ask is about his job. Do you feel you've earned an extension? But this ain't, look, let's get it started. Hey, foaming at the mouth, bro. At the mouth. I would have been like, well, since you put it like that, first thing I want to ask is, what was you thinking with Broderick Martin? How do you feel about your job, Brad? The people want to know. And every time I ask the question, it would be the people want to know. That's what I would do. I would take questions from the fans and I would ask them in a way that I could ask them, right? But shout out to these guys, man. Let's get into it.
Fire away,
Don't
Justin.
take that literally.
We were gonna bring down the podium and put it right here between us all, but this seemed more
I
comfortable.
think this is good enough. Yeah.
Well, I think logical starting point is free agency, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Signed several names. I think we're going to kind of get into a few of them, but
Yep.
I want to start right off the bat with Kate Mays. You know, that was, if you will, the splash of the group, the multi-year deal of the group. And so, more than anything, what did you ID?
All right. So is it just me? Look. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a real kind of. I'm like an audio visual snob, right? And this is bothering me, bro. It's bothering me. So what they're using is, I'm assuming that is a Rodecaster Pro on the floor or on the table, whatever that is. So the reason that Colton doesn't have a microphone is because you can only have 4 people on the microphone. That's it. It only has a slot for 4 people. So Colton is probably going to have to share the mic with Jeff. That's why Jeff doesn't have a headset on, because he wouldn't be able to pass the microphone. So, but I'm like, yo, it's killing me. The setup is killing me, bro. It's killing me. But one thing I can tell right now is that Justin is nervous, and he do this for a living. At least it sounds like to me. He like, why? The voice is all cracky and shaky. But he said, ask him anything. And then he said, well, not literally. So, but let's get into it.
With Cade that made him the right fit, particularly at that center position where I think there was a clear need.
Yeah. It started off with basically looking at the totality of all the available free agents in general. And so as you're working down like a pool of lists, then you start getting to a vertical stack and rankings of guys. And the more that I started to look at Mays, the more I had so much appreciation for really how long he had been playing the position and how better he kept getting. And, you start looking at, okay, what is our identity offensively? And what have we had at that center position? And, bigger guys that can anchor. Obviously, he's got the intangible qualities. He's tough. He's instinctive. He's athletic. All those things. But for our quarterback, a guy that can anchor in the middle is huge. And so that's why he kept kind of staying near the top. And so when you start looking at the kind of the vertical rankings, you're like, okay, all right, you have the guy that got paid the most money. Okay, you got him there. But when you start looking at the gaps in terms of who's 2 and 3 and 4, those gaps start getting a lot smaller, after you get past one guy. And so then that's when Mays just kept making a lot of sense. And so I think he makes a lot of sense for offense. I think he's still got upside. I think he can still get better. And so we're really happy to get him. And you have to also play those scenarios with, yes, obviously that was an important position to acquire this free agency.
Hey, who is that breathing in the mic, bro? Who is that breathing in the microphone? Come on, dog. Is that Brad? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. The breathing in the microphone, bro. Did you just run a marathon? Who is that? Is that Brad? Is that him breathing in the microphone? You got, bro. Who is that breathing in the microphone? I know. And this setup is annoying me, bro. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. This setup is annoying me. It really is. Why don't y'all be a collective and get more cameras? Come on, dog. Look, this ain't nothing personal toward these guys, because I know that this show is owned by somebody else. I don't know who owns the collective, but somebody. It ain't these guys. Get a dog. And I don't know if these mics have a pop filter on them, but but yeah. Shut up. You know why this is 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes because he talking 5 minutes about one thing. Joseph says it looks like high school news from the students. Yeah, one of those. Today in student news, a school bus broke down. I mean, again, this is nothing directed at any of these gentlemen on the panel. But I'm gonna need you. Do you know? Let me just tell y'all something. Do you know that Brad Golling, right, the guy that's works for Channel 7, who is leaving Channel 7 at May 1st? May 1st. We coming back from San Francisco, and this dude is carrying cameras and equipment. Like he had to set up his own camera. I don't know if y'all knew that, but when these reporters are by themselves, they got to set up the shot. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I don't know, y'all. I'm a real stickler for this type of stuff. And I get the 4-person setup because that's all they have. But I'm sure that's a Rodecaster Pro that is on the table. Just out at the bottom of the screen, just out the shot. It can only hold 4 inputs for microphones, and it's 5 of them. So I'm sure that's why one of the guys does not have a Colton does not have the, plus he probably don't want to mess up his hair either. But it's driving me crazy. The breathing in the microphone, please stop it. Whoever that is, stop it.
How can you get him and get some other players as well?
Oh my God.
And then those are the scenarios that you're also trying to play out.
So just wider view free agency. You guys hand out 14 free agent contracts. All but one were 1-year deals. That's generally how you guys have operated in the past. And we should probably pause to mention that most free agent contracts in the NFL tend to be 1-year deals. But can you explain to our larger audience why those 1-year deals fit your team building plan right now?
Yeah. So,
first of all, that's a great question. That is a great question. So shout out to these guys, man, because it looks like they're going to, and I can't wait to Jeff, because Jeff is the fan side of things. So I can't wait for him to get on and ask questions. Look at Jeff, though. Jeff, I mean, why is Jeff looking like that? That's crazy. That is crazy, bro.
We have, trying to think I'm trying to find the most concise way to explain this. We knew what kind of financial constraints that we were in. In entering this, and it had to take a lot more. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I have to pause this quite a bit. If I'm feeling something, I'm gonna pause it. The financial constraints that you were in were financial constraints that you put yourself in. So let's just make that very clear. See, this is what it kind of grinds my gears, because when Lions fans talk about breaking the bank, here's what I realized about y'all. Y'all are biased. You are a bias. That's what fan means. Fan is fanatic. You are a fanatic about your team. Your team can do no wrong. You are biased toward the likes of Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson, right? You are biased. We handed out a bunch of contracts. Should Jahmyr Gibbs be extended? I don't know. If Jahmyr Gibbs is extended right now, it's only because you don't want to have to pay him after Bijan. You would rather pay him before, right? So these financial constraints, this is what I want y'all to understand. The bank is broke either way. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, the bank is broken regardless. If you have $5 million in cap space, the Lions were over the salary cap until they start cutting players. So you already broke the bank. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't want to break the bank for one player, all this stuff. You know what? I get it, because now this team ain't one player away. We're not. But either way it goes, the bank is already broken. So the financial constraints that we're in is all because of the financial decisions that these guys have made. So, looking at everybody from top to bottom, when you have more money to spend and lesser constraints financially, you can do a lot more focus on just the mid to upper echelon guys, and you don't have to really, you can get to the, let's call them tier 2 and 3 and 4 guys a little bit later. But when we're looking at the constraints that we had financially entering in, it's like, okay, all right, we're not going to be able to do a lot of multi-year deals, because for what we're trying to do with these extensions that we have upcoming, the implications that it would have on our cap would be, I don't want to call it crippling, but it would have been hard to overcome, guess I could say. So we were kind of limited in how many multi-year deals that we actually could get, and that takes.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You gotta let people talk. We don't need All right. Okay. We don't need, I'm sorry. Look, we don't need that. You know, we don't need, this is an interview. You ain't chopping it up with the homie. This is an interview. Let the dude finish, bro. I cannot stand. That's why when you hear me and we do our shows, we don't interrupt each other. Like we do, but yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just when I see stuff like this is just like the pet peeve side of me. Let the dude finish talking. We don't get a lot of, we don't need you to second what he's saying, bro.
Part like, yeah, we can want that, but then
I'm gonna show you how annoying that is.
The agent has to agree to too, and so it's not like you're looking for prove it kind of guys. But you can find a lot of good football players that maybe have started out playing some good football and had some bumps in the road, and then they're kind of get it back and they want to just do a prove it deal. You factor an age into that. But it did make a lot of sense of where we're at from a financial constraint standpoint.
All right. So first question, word salad. It's word salad, bro. And so I heard a lot. You're not trying to make this team better. You're not. Brad Holmes is not trying to make this team better. Do you feel right now that the Detroit Lions are better? No. Do you feel like that they're better than the end of 2025? No. We did not get better at running back, right? We downgraded. Isaiah Pacheco is a downgrade. And yes, I can say that because it is a fact. Who cares if David wanted more carries? I want $1 million. Should I call Brad up and say, hey, Brad, I want $1 million. Can you send me $1 million? I'll take $999,000. How about that? Come on, dog. So look, it's very clear to me that this guy won't be around in 2 years. That's all I'm saying. This guy's not going to be around in 2 years. I would have asked him, what do you feel like you've earned an extension? That would have been the first thing. Do you feel that you've earned an extension? You know what I want to hear from him? I'm going to keep that to myself. Those are the questions I would be. And no disrespect to these guys. That's what I want to know. I want to know because I'm a fan, and I'm not saying these guys not. I'm a fan of this team. Why? What happened? Why did you cut Zadarius Smith? Did you really believe Marcus Davenport was that dude? Right? Why aren't you more transparent? What do you think you owe the fan base? You said a lot of nothing. He said a lot of nothing. And to me, it's very clear. Win a Super Bowl or find a new job. That's it. And if Sheila Hamp is about that life, that's what it's going to be. Win a Super Bowl or find a new job. See, y'all got to understand, these guys don't have to get fired. They can just not be renewed. It's very simple. You have a contract. People have contracts all the time. You have a contract with a company for 5 years. When that contract is over, do you and the company renew that contract? Or do you find a new place? Very simple. So I'm going to try to not stop it as much as possible during his answers. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can get through this a little faster and we can keep it cohesive. I was right about McNeil paying him all that money was going to hurt us. I mean, look, paying Jared Goff, paying St. Brown, all of it has hurt us. It has all hurt us. So we should just be drafting. And what I'll do is I'll look at the questions after each time he comments. I just started the stream, so I know I'm way behind, but I'm down with you, Syndicate. Just not a Spider-Man. What a douche. His powers don't work unless he's around skyscrapers. That's funny. Cash, you need to catch up. You way behind, brother. I think you can afford to take a bit of a hit for a QB, though. Lions record won't show how good this team is because we have an easy schedule. Okay, Trees. But you know what, bro? The easy schedule is 3 games. But I guess that's enough. That's the difference between 12-5 and 9-8. So I guess you're right.
Just to ask about maybe a departure, Dave Montgomery. I know you and Dan both mentioned you wanted him back. Can you kind of just walk through the timeline of how, that all came to be with him going to Houston and the return you got?
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Jeff, bro. Shout out to Jeff. Hold on. Let me cue up the air horn. I got to find it first. Oh, there you go. All right, shout out to Jeff, man, because there's a lot of guys in this space, you know what I'm saying, that are scared to me. They don't want to upset the fan base. And it's good to see Crunch Time representing. You know what I'm saying? Because you say a lot of things and you get in front of somebody. And I know that if I got in front of Brad Holmes and I didn't tear him up, y'all would hold me responsible, right? So even if I didn't want to do that, like if I was like, oh shoot, I'm like, who is this guy, right? He's a general manager. It ain't like he a celebrity or special or nothing. So I would have to ask the questions. I can ask them. He don't have to answer them, but I'll have to ask him. You know, and I'll show some respect. But I appreciate Jeff because you just never know. You never know, you know, how people are going to be. And that's a great question. I'm looking forward to hearing his answer. So shout out to Jeff and Crunch Time Sports.
Look, it was evident that, you know, there were less touches that he had. And look, a lot of it's not just him. It's how Jameer had ascended. And so, and you know, me. Yo,
I can't be screaming because, oh my God. So it lit dog. Okay. All right. I love Jameer how Jameer had ascended. The heck? Wow. That's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. This David Montgomery thing hurts me. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to stop it. I am sorry. Okay. I'm going to let him finish. Kanye.
He and David's agent, we all had really, really healthy dialogue, you know, and so we just kind of thought it was best for all parties. It was right after the end of the season that, you know, like, let's just see if, you know, we can get the proper return. Because I told his agent, I was just like, look, this guy's a good player, man. Like, we're not just giving him away, you know. So we were happy with the return that we got. I'm happy for David. I think he's in a good spot, but you know, that's going to be not only a loss of just a player, but you know, he was such an impact on our locker room from a leadership standpoint, our culture, but it was all healthy dialogue. There was never any, you know, bad blood or anything. And I think it worked out well for both parties.
Brad.
All right. So listen. So you basically see, all right, that means, so here's, so what Brad Holmes just said was Jameer Gibbs' ascension. So you demoted David Montgomery because of yo dude, of Jameer Gibbs. God forbid Jameer Gibbs gets hurt or miss any games, bro. Now we stuck with Isaiah Pacheco. So they chose Jameer Gibbs over David Montgomery. So I do not want to hear about the run game. Not a single Detroit Lions fan do not mention the run game. It better ascend. So they chose not to. So it wasn't, oh, he's not getting more touches. It's you're not going to get any more touches. That's what this was. You aren't going to get, because Jameer Gibbs has ascended. You know what's beautiful about this is Jameer Gibbs has run alongside David Montgomery since he was drafted. So now we get to see Jameer all alone. All alone, bro. We're not just going to give him away. Bro, we trying to win Super Bowls, man. We're trying to win Super Bowls. Myles Garrett is never winning anything in Cleveland. And they refuse to give him away. And we were close at one point, and you're just going to give David Montgomery away because you don't need David Montgomery? Who says who? I love this, bro, because all these Lions fans are just, oh, we're paying him too much money, and oh, this. Whose decision was that? On top of that, Jameer Gibbs has not run without Monty. This is crazy, bro. Not a single peep for 3 seasons, and all of a sudden, the end of the season, it was over. I told y'all at that Rams game, he was done. He like, why am I not getting the ball? Why is Jameer Gibbs getting tackled 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you have me? And the Lions like, hey, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Jameer, we got to pay the dude. I told you, man, Jameer Gibbs is going to be drafting him. I swear, bro, it is going to be the downfall of Brad Holmes. Drafting Jahmyr Gibbs will be the downfall of this regime. I'm telling you. And you know what? Brad Holmes, Dan might survive. Drafting Jahmyr Gibbs is the turning point for this organization, this regime. So basically, you so full of yourself that you chose to get worse. You chose not to feed David Montgomery in favor of Jahmyr Gibbs, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Anyway, this stuff, wow. All right. Since I'm holding in all of my comments until he's done talking, I'm going to let it out when he's done. I'm going to let it out. Let me look at the comment section. Didn't our offense then, didn't we get worse? Didn't we get worse running during the season progression? Brad and Dan made the choice. Now they got to live with that choice. They don't want a Super Bowl. So Jahmyr Gibbs is being put in a workhorse role. Hope that works out. That's exactly what's happening. He basically was alone last season, though Monty barely had any carries. He was frustrated the whole season, Monty. But what I'm saying, though, is now Jay, he don't even have that. He don't even have that. Those same runs that Monty came in and got 5 yards while Jahmyr was getting stuffed 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now that's all Jahmyr. Watch. If Pacheco get hurt, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Pacheco, the way he run, bro, he probably going to get hurt. Monty made the team tired, wore him down. Gibbs going from 60 carries to 100, dumb move next season. Bro, look at Christian McCaffrey. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs about to become Christian McCaffrey. When he own. God, look, I'm not wishing evil or injury on anybody, but these are the facts. Jahmyr Gibbs, is he capable of running 30 times per game? Jahmyr will still be great on his own, though I wish we still had Monty. This is not about Jahmyr greatness space. This is about the smart thing to do. Why are we going to wear down our running back? You about to pay this dude $1 billion and you're going to wear him down. Look, he's shaping up to be Christian McCaffrey. He's going down that line. It's only so many hits this guy can take. DeQuan says, don't forget he got a RB who grabbing Brian Branch when he got into that fight. Yeah, I saw that. Brad doesn't call the plays though. By not even talking realistic, drafting Gibbs is the downfall. Yes, it is the downfall. Maybe you need to do some research before you open your mouth, bro, because then you know what I was talking about. You know what I was talking about. So I'm being go look at the tape, dog. Go look at the tape. See, I hate dumb people in the comment section like Des Banks. Go look at the tape, bro. I love this because after we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, what happened? I bet you don't know that though, do you? Because you just run your mouth. What happened, bro? What happened after we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs? What happened? We took 2 players and then fell off a cliff. Can you name anybody of impact from 2024? No. You can barely do it for 2025. Jahmyr Gibbs changed who Brad Holmes was as a person, as a drafter, as a general manager, because he was so excited and so positional value that the rest of it you can't even name. We took Sione Vaki in 2024. Why? We took Broderick Martin. Why? You can't even name anybody outside of Terrion Arnold who made an impact in the 2024 draft. Y'all, bro, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand. When I said it's the downfall of this team, it's because of who it made our general manager become. All right. All questions will be answered after he answers.
In a league where running backs maybe aren't valued like they used to be, the consensus seems to be that you guys landed a really nice return here. 2 draft picks, obviously a potentially valuable roster player in Juice Ruggs. The report was that David's preferred destination was Houston. I'm sure you guys entertain more options than just Houston, but can you explain how you navigated his trade market and just how pleased you were with the ultimate return?
Yeah, really, I knew he would have a market because he's a good player and he's still, in a prime age. But But really, I think the reason why we got the return that we got is because it was multiple teams competing for his services. And so we were really happy with, the draft picks, but then to able to get Scruggs in it, I mean, that kind of put it over the top. There were other teams that were willing to entertain similar kind of packages. But for where we were as a team, especially from an offensive line standpoint, to add a player like Scruggs, so we did a lot of work on in the draft process. His center ability actually was really impressive since he's gotten to the NFL, and then able to play both guard spots. So again, it worked with us from a financial constraint standpoint as well. And so that when we got Scruggs in the package, and that was like it was a done deal.
Plus, if you can.
So wait. Let me get this straight. Shout out to Ray Floyd with the super chat. Says, imagine this team with Jalen Carter, Aiden, and Branch. Gibbs was a flashy pick because Brad only cares about the offense. It does seem that way, don't it? So did y'all hear what Brad was saying? That Scruggs took the deal over the top? Dog. You can't be serious. See, I don't even have to say nothing. Brad does all the talking. Then he backs it up. My throat gonna be on fire tonight. Scruggs was the determining factor in the dog. Scruggs was the determining factor. You can't make this stuff up. He was you know what, bro? Scruggs was he was the guy to take the trade over the top. And y'all think that Brad is paying a dude $5 million to sit on the bench? I don't think so. That little left tackle big guy we got. Oh, he's starting. He's starting, boyo. He gonna be starting. And guess what else? DJ Wonham, he the number 2 edge rusher. He gonna start the season number 2. Watch. You better hope Matthias takes an edge in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Crazy. A guy who has no impact took the trade over the top, dog. You can't make this stuff up. That's crazy. And I'm going to tell you what, go back and watch the 2023 draft recap. Go watch the Inside the Den. When you see how ecstatic this team was about Broderick Martin, it will start to change your reality, your perception of who these guys are. Are they really that good, or did they stumble into some fortune? Because remember, I told you guys, Brad is only the picks that were with Stafford. That's it. You take those Stafford picks away, this team is not the same. He don't hit it out the park. There is no Jahmyr Gibbs without the Stafford pick. Think about that. There is no Jahmyr Gibbs without the Stafford pick. There is no Jamison Williams without the Stafford pick. This is crazy, bro. I mean, the stuff that he's saying just annoys me. It just annoys me. Martha is charging the batteries on the scooter right now. Look, he said it. I didn't say it. I also did not like this. We had no money to work with excuse. Bro, you haven't done anything even when you, yeah, exactly. And then you gave the money up. You're the reason we don't have any money. You paid St. Brown, Panay Sewell, Taylor Decker, who you wind up cutting. You paid him 2 years ago. You acting like these aren't your decisions. You made these choices. This is crazy, bro. All right. Well, at least we get Davenport. Yeah, I think, you know what, Jay, we done with Davenport. I'm waiting on him to sign somewhere else. Davenport is officially done. This is crazy.
At a football player named Juice, don't you kind of have to do it?
Yeah, and and he has juice, man. Like he does his makeup and all the intangible qualities that he possesses. We're all blown away by that coming out of the draft process and his makeup and the whole thing. So just to see actual tangible evidence of him starting both guard spots, starting center, and actually holding his own at all three, it was impressive.
Brad, speaking of juice, Isaiah Pacheco has some himself. Obviously we know what he can be at his best, but the production has kind of dipped the past 2 years. Injuries have been a factor. I guess, what was it about the evaluation process that kind of led you to him, and what type of a player are you getting in Pacheco?
Shout out to Colton. Never really heard him speak that much. Great question. Shout out to him.
Me and Dan have always been a big fan of that. Yeah. Just the way he runs, man. He runs with urgency. He runs with toughness. I just, every time I've watched him when we played him in the past, it's just, we've been so much of a fan of just kind of the juice that he brings. And so, and he was another one that, we're kind of looking at and it's like, would love to have him, but not sure if we're going to be able to make this work. And then, that's part of the patience aspect of free agency.
Hey, yo, I'm sorry. I need somebody to do me a favor. Isaiah Pacheco was drafted in the 7th round of 2020, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second round of 20, the 7th round. We took who? Who did we take, bro? Chase Lucas? Who was drafted first, Isaiah Pacheco or Chase Lucas? Somebody go look that up for me, please. You love all of these guys. I mean, of course you're going to say that. All right, somebody do the research, please.
That you got to start seeing, okay, like you do your own internal analysis of the market, and you got to stay patient, and what you may think might happen might not happen. It's like, oh wow, and so, and from what I've heard, he probably had some other situations that may have been a little bit more favorable, but he wanted to be here. And so him wanting to be here, and he knows exactly what kind of situation he's going to be coming into. That was huge. So we were all on board. We were high.
Yo. Hey, you see? Shout out to Space Vids. He said Lucas was taking 14 picks before Isaiah Pacheco. So if you wanted him, bro, you would have taken him then. See.
And then, man, I think he's going to be a great fit with Jameer. And look, and we still have Vaki.
No. Yo, I'm not cut out. I'm retiring. I'm retiring, bro. I am retiring. I am done. This is my last video. Bro. Go Lions. No, you see what I'm saying, bro? He be capping, bro. Chase Lucas was taken before Isaiah Pacheco, but you was watching him, but you chose to take Chase. What happened to the master draft evaluator, man? I can't with this dude. We might have to take an intermission. Look, I am trying not to stop this. I am trying not to. He mentions Vaki. Don't you mention Vaki, bro. Don't you dare.
We wanted to get Vaki a little bit more heading to camp last year, but he missed some time, kind of set him back a little bit.
Of course he did.
But, the book's not closed on him as a runner either. So we're excited about the room in general.
And just how confident are you that Isaiah can return to that pre-injury form that he showed his first couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is when you run with the type of urgency that he runs with, I mean, you can will your way to do a lot of things, rather if it's okay, well, he had to push through an injury here and there. Look,
hold on, Truth, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Every pick is a gamble. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Do not do that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about when you give up assets for a guy. That means that you extra want that guy. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that, bro. Don't make excuses for this guy. Do not do that. Your team has no Super Bowl appearances in 60 years. Do not make excuses for this. Don't. Do not do that, bro. You're selling yourself short. Demand more. Every pick is a gamble. Of course it is. But don't act like, I was so sold on Pacheco. See, but we took Chase. You could have taken him. You traded up for Broderick and didn't take Puka Nacua. How about that? Don't with this gamble stuff, bro. Of course it is. Watching an NFL game, every single snap is a gamble. Is the person going to get up? This entire sport is a gamble, which is why it is even more imperative that you make the right decisions. Don't do that, bro. Do not make excuses for this team. These aren't crash outs. This is serious conversation. Y'all got to stop this. You have to stop this. You know what I hear? It baffles me. This is what I hear. When people defend Brad Holmes, you know what the defense is? He's the best general manager we've had. So what? Has that general manager led to a Super Bowl, which we still don't have? No. It's because of where we've been that this man can do no wrong. Y'all not going to be saying the same thing in year 8 if Sheila and Brad extend him with no Super Bowls. Y'all have to stop this, bro. That's why they get away with this. Every draft pick is a gamble. You don't take Ennis Rakestraw when you need a defensive lineman, a defensive end. You don't trade up for Vaki when you need a defensive end. For a free agent is a gamble, but at least they're proven. And this ain't no disrespect to you, bro. We have to stop this. The big names get big money because they produce big. But we want to pinch and bargain. So we trade up for a guy that plays 4 positions and get nothing out of him. We just have to stop this. We have to stop this defense of everything that he does. No, look, what I'm saying is this is more of a crash out at the fan base, man. Y'all got to have yourself a higher standard, bro. Hold this team to a higher standard. Because you know what? I hope Sheila and whatever crew is backing her holds this team to a higher standard. We didn't get it from her daddy. We didn't get it from her mama. Y'all just will take anything, bro. Shout out to a turd is still a turd. Covered in chocolate or not, it's a turd. You cannot defend every single pick. You don't have time. The NFL is not about gambling, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is. But it ain't about gambling on the field. Is that we okay? We're okay with giving up 3 picks for Broderick Martin? We're okay with we took Tesla, so now we have no 3rd round pick. I can't with y'all. Y'all expectations are nothing. You don't care about winning a championship. You want to be good. You know why? Because people are talking about the Lions now. All of a sudden, we in power rankings. All of a sudden, nobody's laughing at us. But guess what? Just like that, we're in the basement again. All of that, and we're still in the basement. Explain that. If you want to defend gamble picks, please explain how did the Lions wind up in the basement? We're in the basement of the NFC North after 2 glorious years of being on top. And we're back in the basement, not 3rd. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the 2 years that the Lions have made the playoffs, we have been either first, we have not made the playoffs without winning the division. Y'all realize that, right? The 2 times in 5 years, we've made the playoffs twice, and we were first place in both of them times. Why? Because the NFC North is getting better. They're getting better. So either you're first or the Lions have been last. We've been first or last, except that 1 year that we were 9-8 when we were second or whatever it was. So, but making the playoffs, we've only been first. This is crazy to me. So in Dan Campbell's and Brad Holmes' tenure, we have been first twice, last twice, and second once. King Turner, we're not talking about every pick. We're not talking about every GM, bro. This is why they get to do this to y'all. Every GM has a Broderick Martin pick. Yes, they do. But every general manager is not the Detroit Lions general manager. Do a brief Google search on the history of the Detroit Lions and you will see. Y'all are too soft. This is crazy.
In this game, you're never going to be 100%. It's a physical.
I don't care that they troll. There's look. They troll me. I troll them back. That's why this makes for great content. This makes for great content. I'm not worried about somebody trolling me. I'm not worried about me crashing out. Whatever. Do whatever. Y'all need somebody to crash out on this team because nobody else does it. I was thinking about that the other day. I said, where all the fans at? Where the fans at, bro? I don't even want to do this anymore because it ain't no fans. Everybody is they want to be credentialed. They want to be noticed. They want to be appreciated. They don't want to, they're not fans. Where the fans at, bro? Fans are supposed to crash out. You know why I don't get asked to do anything? Because I'm a fan. They can't ask me to do anything. Because I'm a act like a fan. I'm not a media personality. I'm a fan of the Detroit Lions. I go to the games. I don't sit in the press box. I'm a fan. I spend my own money, drive to the games. I'm a fan of the team.
He understands that, but I don't have any concerns about what he's been through or anything. I don't have a crystal ball either, but just right now we're really excited to acquire him.
Want to pivot back to your garden?
Yeah,
your offensive line.
Yeah, you remember that? Huh?
Yeah, it's a good quote. It's come back several times.
It. How's the garden looking? Is it?
Well, it's better in some places. Some places we got some question marks,
okay.
Right? And so the Decker situation was a little bit of a roller coaster from us on the outside, right? He announced he's coming back at the combine right after we talked to you.
Yep.
Not saying that your conversation, spurred him to make that announcement, but a couple weeks later, he's asking for his release. And so I'm wondering, I guess, as you're weighing the scenarios of how all these things play out, were you surprised at all with how that worked out? And then just given what he's meant to the team in the same way David, meant to the team, is there any disappointment from the franchise and kind of the way the thing played out?
I wouldn't say it's disappointment or really surprise. Either way, I think a lot of those situations that happen, it all starts with communication. And
hey, King, we good, bro. We good. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We just go back and forth. It's all love. It's all love, man, for sure.
And what you've communicated with the player, what you've communicated with the player's agent, and so it starts there. But there was really no surprises. Again, you don't know when a player is going to put something out. So if you want to say that if there's a prize, maybe that was a surprise. But in terms of the decisions that he made, I want to say that would be a surprise. Again, he's been a really good player for our franchise for a really long time. So he's going to be missed. I know the fans are going to miss him. The locker room's going to miss him, but unfortunately, those are the kind of difficult decisions that have to be made at times. But we wish him nothing but the best. I know that he was a favorite. He always has been, and just wish him the best of luck going forward.
From the outside looking in, Brad, it felt like the offensive tackle market in free agency was maybe a little bit depressed, like really good proven players signing for maybe less than anticipated.
Yeah.
How did that market play out relative to your internal projections or evaluations?
Yeah. Well, look, I would say it started off with, again, going back to just.
All right. So one thing that I peeped already, and this ain't no shot. We 13 minutes in. Jeff has asked one question. Jeff is supposed to represent the fan. I don't know if we still got a long way to go, and I'm gonna try to get through this because this thing could be 6 hours. But we got one question from Jeff. One. And we are 13 minutes into this thing. So right now, it looks like the beat writers are asking most of the questions. And if that's the case, this is a regular, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is all that we can see this anywhere. We can see this anywhere. Shout out to the super chat from C Pool. Says, new drinking contest. Every time Brad says, you take a shot. I would do it. I would do it with some water or some Hawaiian punch or something. That's a good game.
The evaluation aspect of it. So, you have some guys that you know a lot more well known, had started a lot more games. We're probably going to be in line for a lot more money or a larger payday. But looking. All
right, I got a different game. Every time he says you're gonna get a well, hold on. So okay, hold on. These two buttons are. I'm gonna try to do that, but this second button on my sound pad is stupid, bro. I have to use it. See. See, I'm trying to press one button, but the other one activates. So, well, yeah, that would have been a fun game to play.
Looking at Larry Bourne, man, obviously,
oh Lord,
did a lot of work on him coming out in the draft process.
Oh Lord,
was with Chicago, had a lot of exposure of him playing a lot of different spots, but seeing what he did at Miami, especially at right tackle, and then when you start looking at the films, like, man, like this is probably about the most consistent ball that I've seen him play. And so then you start taking a deeper dive of him at right tackle, even in the past, and you start seeing this level of consistency versus the guard spots or the left tackle spots. And not saying that he can't play those spots too, because he can, but that's what kept him up there for us. And then again, there are constraints. So, you have to always weigh in that as well. So, I think in terms of the player and his ability and his fit, and then, it was a player that we were able to fit from a financial standpoint as well. Because, really I keep using the word constraint. So let me break that down real quick.
All right. So that is not Brad breathing into the mic. I think that's Justin. That's Justin breathing into the mic. It is irritating me half to death. So
I didn't even realize this till probably a couple of years ago, actually, is our first 3 years, 21, 22, 23, we're just going, man. We're drafting, we're signing, we're trading, we're just building, man. And so I think it was like entering the 24 season, and I looked back and I was like, wow. I was like, man, okay, we had a first round pick in 21, right? That we have extended, right? We had 2 first round picks in 22. They've been rewarded. We had 2 first round picks in 23. We would like to reward them. Well, in 23, our 2 second round picks we had as first rounders. So you could already say that those were 7 first round caliber players that have all kind of reached what we thought they were going to be able to reach within 3 years. So it's like, man, that's 7 first rounders that have all come like the players that we envision versus, we've selected the players, but we have great coaches, great teachers, they've developed and all that. Well, that's just the first rounders. Then I look back, I was like, well, that's not even counting the franchise quarterback trade reward. That's it's like 4 or 5 others. The 3rd round, I'm going in a chronological order. The 3rd round of Lee McNeil, the 4th round St. Brown, the 3rd round Kirk. It starts to add up. Like it really adds up. So when I say the constraints about what we're already doing from a financial standpoint and what we're trying to do from a financial standpoint with the extensions that we have upcoming, that's why I talk about the constraint standpoint. So, because I don't want you guys to ever think that, or anybody to ever think that we have a lot of money that we have it, we don't want to spend it. No, we're actually spending everything that we have available to us. You know what I mean? And so that's what I wanted to kind of make clear. You guys probably already knew that already, but I just, if that clears it up for.
Yo, I said that. I remember we used to call Brad cheap. And then when he made his first extension, which was Penei Sewell was the first person, and we like, oh, he not cheap. He just want to reward his own guys. So you're already seeing now the philosophy. So here's what that means. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Well, I'll say both. That statement solidifies the fact we will never, ever, ever pay full price for a position outside of one that he drafted. Cornerbacks are the highest paid individuals he has paid. You know why? Because he loves them. DJ Reed. He gave Cam Sutton $33 million. Go look at the tape. When I say tape, I'm talking about go check the videos. Go check the videos. Brad Holmes, highest paid person. The highest paid position that he has given to people that he did not draft are cornerbacks. DJ Reed and Carlton Davis. I'm sorry, Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton, we traded for Carlton Davis. That's what I meant to say. So he has shown you, which we knew this already, that you are going to pay your people. You're not going to bring somebody in. So all of these guys that are going to cost in any type of money, especially if you're not a cornerback, you are not playing for the Lions under this regime. Brad will never, ever sign a big name in free agency unless you're a cornerback. It's not going to happen. If you're on a D-line, forget about it. If you're a defensive end, forget about it. DJ Reader, the highest paid defensive lineman outside that he's brought in from outside. So that's what he's saying. So he was right. We thought he was cheap. Now he's not cheap. He just likes to shop at the dollar store if he ain't draft you. If he ain't draft you. He wants to shop. He's going to draft you, pay you, which is still breaking the bank, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter when you break it, you still broke it. This is crazy. So whether or not, I got people in the comment section saying we're not gonna, we shouldn't extend Jameer. Jameer about to get a payday. Brad Holmes, he just told you that he had Brian Branch and Sam Laporta as first round picks. That also tells me that without their injury, they probably were getting paid too. Either way it go, bank is broken. And here's the beautiful part, ladies and gentlemen, that I love, since y'all want to come at me so bad. Like I'm just a bad guy. That's right, I can take it. The decisions that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell make right now, they go into the next regime. Did you know that? So when we sign Jahmyr Gibbs to an extension, his extension begins when Brad Holmes needs a new contract. And Dan Campbell. The only thing that the new general manager / coach can get out of is Jared Goff. That's it. So the decisions about breaking the bank, right now, he's setting up the next regime. He hoping it's him. He hoping it's him and Dan. That's what he hoping. But right now, it's not. All this goes away with the Super Bowl win. All of it probably goes away with a Super Bowl appearance and a competitive game. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm speaking, but you cannot rip up the facts because they're the facts. Shout out to C Pool with the super chat. Says, if Brad was watching Borum's tape, he wouldn't have noticed the Dolphins' slid protection to his side during the passing windows. I mean, during the passing downs. He said he did watch his tape though. That's what he says, C Pool. All right, let's keep going.
The fans, but it is something that I really, as we were signing and drafting and getting all these players, we were just going, man. And then you're looking back and it's like, man, That's a lot, man. And so, talk about constraints. We're trying to get as many players as we can, or many good football players that we can that fit us within the constraints.
You got to stop drafting so well.
There you go.
Let Jeff ask a question. Oh my God, you gotta stop, Brad. You just gotta stop drafting so well, buddy. Survey says, dog. You gotta stop drafting so well, Brad. I mean, can I rub your head, buddy? Can I? Ooh. Let me touch your head, Brad. Let me rub. Let me massage your scalp. I can't. Now it's a great time to insert a joke here. You gotta stop it, Matthias. You're killing me. You're drafting so well. Bro. Where's Jeff at? Where is Jeff at? I mean, dog, and look, this ain't no shot, man. I'm just like, you gotta stop drafting so well, buddy. Yeah. He might as well. Brad, you're killing him, man. You're killing him. We just, we're not really here to ask you anything. We just, I'm retired, bro. I'm retired. This is my last stream. Hey. Hey, y'all stupid. Y'all stupid, bro. I mean, he might as well, you know what? Excuse me. Let me go get my positional value villain hoodie. No, where's the define aggressive? Can we get somebody? Brad, you needed the definition of aggressive. Did you figure it out yet? They are paid to glaze. They are, man. That's why Jeff is so quiet. You gotta stop drafting, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get paid regardless, buddy. And look, I don't got no problem with these guys. I don't, man. But come on, man. Ask them the questions that matter. What's with the positional value villain hoodie? What happened with Broderick? How do you feel about it? Do you think you should be extended? Not you gotta stop drafting, so, well, golly, Brad. If you just wouldn't draft so good, buddy, then maybe.
Look,
Jeff popped up like, let me say something. And I love Jeff. This ain't no diss to Jeff. Jeff was, that's just the funniest thing I've ever heard. Let me get it here. I ain't been able to ask nothing. So let me, you're killing me, Will. Oh my God. And this ain't no disrespect, but look, Jeff was quiet. He was a statue over there. Let me finally get my voice heard. Just let me go back a little bit.
I wanted to kind of make clear. You guys
watch the whole thing.
Already,
and again, I am not. Jeff is the dude. He my homie. This ain't no disrespect. But the brother quiet. He is Silence of the Lambs over there. So he had to. I'm still here. It's crazy, bro.
I just, if that clears it up for the fans, but it is something that I really, as we were signing and drafting and getting all these players, we were just going, man. And then you're looking back and it's like, man, that's a lot, man. And so, talk about constraints. We're trying to get as many players as we can, or many good football players that we can that fit us within the constraints.
You got to stop drafting so well.
There you go. You know, look at we've done some good things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, they're not always going to be perfect. I've been very accountable. You know that there's some that have not reached the expectation. We've been on a run and it's been our foundation, man. Like it's been our nucleus. So it's like when you have these high upside young players that fit, that are really good players that can help our football team, and we're trying to keep our sustainability at a good level. And so we're not trying to do this one and done kind of thing. So you can take two different approaches.
There it is. There it is, bro. He is still on the dynasty tip. He's still on it, bro. He is still on it. I mean, I don't know how hard it is, man. You know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? What are you worried about, 3 or 4? Bro, I gave myself a headache, man. Brad don't have balance. He don't have balance. He don't have balance. You so worried about, bro, win one. This is crazy. People do whatever they have to do to get one, and you deal with the consequences. This is unbelievable to me. You might not be employed here in 2 seasons. Ain't it about time you start thinking about the next 2 years? Or am I wrong? One and done, that's what you've been. You ain't even made it to 1. Bro, we're not trying to be one and done. Dog, you in year 6. You are in year 6 and we ain't got 1. You already done. Cooked. I'm going to need a Tylenol, bro.
You could be, well, let's not extend these players and then let's get more expensive free agents. You know, well, are we sure that that's the right move, or is that going to give us the right amount of sustainability that we're looking for? So
there you go. There you go. Sustain what? Sustain what? You know what? I understand why y'all like you are. You are like you are because you were fed that. Sustain what? Being a good team? This is a joke, bro. Look. Oh my God, I have a headache. Okay. I've been dealing with something since December. There are times that I don't want to do this anymore. I do not want to do this. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to tell you why. As brief as I can, I'm going to tell you why. I feel like the fan has disappeared. There's no more fans. There's no more fans. It's only podcasters and analysts and people that want to be under the Detroit Lions' thumb. They want to be on their radar. They don't care about winning Super Bowls. They care about being a good team. Even if that good team is eliminated in playoff contention or in the first round, they care about views and subscribers. They don't care about the truth, bro. And I'm like, yo, why am I even doing this? I have thought about that since December. Like, yo, it might be time to hang it up. Why are you talking about, notice, sustained success? And nowhere in that comment is a Super Bowl win. You're talking about sustained success. We've had that. Because that's all that matters. That's all y'all need. All you need is to be 15-2 and get bounced out and blame Jared Goff. That's what you need. You need to be in the NFC Championship game up 17 at the half. Because that's what you need. You need hope. You don't need championships, people. You need hope. And I'm just tired, bro. I'm tired of all. This space has changed so much that sometimes I don't even want to be a part of it. And I was one of the first people here. I don't want to be a part of it anymore because I'm fighting a battle against people that just, those. Shout out, Mike. Appreciate you, bro. Mike ain't, thank you. You are 100% right, man, but Brad ain't worth giving yourself a stroke. It'll make for good content. No, I'm just playing. He not going to give myself a stroke. If I felt that, I'm sick, so I'm battling that as well. But I did sustain success. What are we talking about? Sustain success. Where's a Super Bowl at? And Lions fans, what would you rather be? Would you rather be good for 20 years and never make a Super Bowl or get one? I can't, this guy act like you had 20 years, bro. You only had 7. And you have 2 remaining. What are you talking about sustained success for? How about urgency? There is no urgency. I don't believe this. I don't believe anything. There's no urgency. You still in year 6 talking about sustained success. And then the fans going to be shocked when Joe Schmo comes in here and takes this team to a Super Bowl. When the general manager that's thinking about winning a Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history is coming in here. That general, you know what? If Brad wanted to be the greatest, why don't you cement your legacy, bro? Get a Super Bowl. Have a bronze statue in front of Ford Field. You, Barry Sanders, and Dan Campbell. But that's not what you want to do. You don't want that. I need some tea, bro. My throat is cooked. My throat is cooked, bro. I mean, yeah, it's real. It's real, Boomer, because I'm spitting reality. We're not the Patriots. What are we talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand. You're in year 6 talking about sustainability. You might need a job in 2 seasons. I'm not saying ruin the franchise, but low key, it's happening anyway. You're giving all these contracts to people you might not even be here to deal with it. And when I say ruining, I mean where you're setting us behind. You're bringing us back behind. You know, oh my God. Okay, I just can't. Look, I told you that free agency was going to tell us everything we needed to know. Lions probably won't take an edge. If they take an edge in the first 2 rounds, I'm going to be shocked. I can see a safety. I can see a running back. I can see a quarterback. I can see any number of people. We still need a left or right tackle. The draft is less than a month away. Matter of fact, right now we on day 4. I'm sorry, day 2. No, day 4. We on day 2. Thank you, Dana. I will.
Those are the decisions that we're always weighing. So when I bring up financial constraints, it's like, look, man, like, all right, hypothetically, say you have a $20 million budget, right? I feel like I'm going off topic.
No, please go ahead.
Anyways. But it was just on my mind a little bit. But say you had hypothetically, say you had like
I know what this is
for free.
I know what this is. I know what this is, bro. I know what's happening. I know what this is. I need something to drink. I know this whole interview. I know what it is. I know exactly what. Hey, put in the comments if you figured out what this interview is. Why did this interview happen? Let's see how smart y'all. Let's see how much we think alike. Why is this interview happening? Jay says it's gibber. Why is this interview happening? Why is it happening? Dana says he's been reading the media. Absolutely. This is a crisis session, is what this is. This is hey, you know what? He turned down an interview with John Macarone after the season was over. He turned down an interview with On SI. This is a PR that he's trying to regain the trust. To shut up the noise, the narratives on the internet. Yep, it's damage control, Dana. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. You breaking down. Okay. All right. Let me go get some. Hold on. Let me see if the wifey, my phone. Hold on. I'm gonna see if she can make me some tea, because we got a lot more cooking to do. So I'm gonna see if she can make me some tea. Hold on.
Let's see. Well, you can look at one guy and say, look, man, you can get that one player. And say you get that one player. Well, say that one player's $18-19 million of that 20.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what else are you going to get? So then you're trying to say, well, we want a tackle, we want a center, defensive end, DBs, we want that. That stuff adds up, man. And so you have to make the decision. So when you do your vertical stacking, you have to look at it horizontally as well and say, do you want this one player? But also you got to look at the gaps that I was talking about. You know, if player A is this much more money, if player B, if the gap is that much closer, is that a $10 million gap? Or is that kind of a $2 or $3 million gap? And so then it's like, well, maybe it makes more sense, because if we get this B player that is, or this second player, then we can also get 3, 4, and 5. Where if you just get A, you're just A, and then that's it. And so those are the kind of decisions that we always have to make.
Bring us back to Borum really quick, and I think it's a pretty simple answer.
Brad basically, so he told you what he said, the same spiel he did last offseason about the one player away. We were never going to do that. The same spiel from last year is this year. And see, this stuff annoys me, man, because now, so when we call him Bargain Brad, Dollar Store General, that's exactly what he's doing. I get it. If somebody mentioned something about gambling early in the stream. If you are a gambler, right? Well, I don't know what you would do, but I knew a gambler who, instead of spreading his gambles out, his chances, he put more money on one chance. So instead of having 20 chances for the same amount of money but a lesser payout, he took one payout for more money. But he also had one opportunity to get it right. So I get this. I understand that. So Brad is like that, trying to spread it out, trying to get 4 players for 20 million instead of 1 for 18. But at the same time, if those 4 players can't even equal the success or the production of one player, is it really a difference? Braylon with the super chat says, dumpster diving Brad. It's 100%.
Don't have a starting depth chart now, because why would you? You've got the draft coming up. But if push comes to shove, you view Larry Borum as starting capable. Is that fair to say?
Oh, well, he started a lot of games.
Yeah.
So I told y'all, and you notice how Justin literally asked the same thing. They gotta preface these questions with some sugar coats. They gotta glaze them up a little bit. Why would you have a starting? I mean, it's only a March, Brad. This is how you stay in their good graces. And I don't care about these dudes. Like, real talk. I don't know any of them except Jeff. Jeff is the only one I communicate on a somewhat semi basis. I don't care. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. The cooker, I mean, They should have all went in there with Pillsbury Dough. Oh, that's what they should have done, bro. They should have went in with a can of Pillsbury. Just ask the question, bro. What you got to sprinkle? You got to salt bay that thing. Sprinkle some salt on it. We know it's March. The question is, Larry Bourne, we know our general manager. You're not paying up to $5 million. He got 4.9 guaranteed. That's a starter, ladies and gentlemen. That's a starter. We didn't even give that money to Al-Qadim Muhammad. We didn't even give Marcus Davenport that money for year 2. 4.9, that's a starter, ladies and gentlemen. That's a starter. But based off Larry Borum and Jedrick Wills was about to be our left tackle. He was about to be our left tackle. Shout out to Dana with the super chat. Said, he's basically told y'all the window is closed, too many holes, not enough money. I'm just saying.
Well, on top of that, I guess to pivot from that.
Thank you. Finally, Jeff, good to see you, brother. I forgot you were even there. Thank you. Finally.
Staying on the voice of the fan base.
My bad, Fave. Thank you. My bad, Fave. My bad, bro. Is that an unreleased shirt? Yes, brother. My bad. I'm sorry, man. Thank you for the reminder. Yes. This was a test shirt from before. I have not made this shirt. This had the old logo and stuff like that. This was from when I was prototype. So if I get enough people that might want it, then I might put it in production. But yes, this is a prototype shirt this is like from February of last year. So my bad, bro. Yeah, if I miss a super chat, just let me know. Thank you. Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, bro. Jeff, hold on, let me get up in here, bro. The voice of the fan base. Let me get up in here. I'm stomping here. And look at Colton. Colton oh shoot. Look at Justin. Oh shoot. They oh shoot. This is how you know. Look, the face, this is why facial expressions are so important. This is why we need that 33%, because we need to be able to zoom in on this. Colton, Justin, Will, they all know that there's only so much they can do. Because the Lions have to allow you to do this. Now, Will works for 97.1. They got a partnership with them. Justin is independent. He independent. Colton works for the Athletic. Jeff is independent. Now, the Lions Collective, I don't know what they are. Somebody owns this. Shout out to Jeff, man.
The number one thing I get asked the most is, or at least told the most more so, is Penei Sewell playing left tackle. When is Penei Sewell going to play left tackle? And I guess I'll ask you, has there been any conversations maybe this offseason, or have you floated the idea around maybe post Taylor Decker? Because I know you like to go into free agency, address needs, and then the draft is best player available. Has that maybe crossed your mind, the idea of him playing left tackle?
Oh, all right. That's a great question. I'm not mad at that question. I'm not overly excited about that question. That is a question that fans have wanted to know, and I respect that question.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of having a player like him, is that you always.
So he's not going to answer the question
of the possibility, of him playing left tackle. He's done it before. It's not anything foreign to him. So even as we're going through free agency, we weren't really pigeonholed like, got to get the left tackle, or we got to get it right. We're just like, what's the best tackle for us? And then we'll kind of adjust as needed. And so that's kind of the beauty of it.
And just
so, hey, shout out to Brad. He yo, we not going to give out our trade secrets. I get that. Shout out to Jeff. So now you can see now that Jeff, look, hey, look, yo, I might have to DM Jeff when we get off. I'm going to have to DM Jeff, because look at that brother face. He yep. He want to let you know he tried. He did try. And I respect the brother for trying. He did try, bro. That is crazy. Shout out to Jeff, man.
Put a bow on this, because I feel like a lot of us get this question. Has there been any contact with Taylor and his camp since, those kind of talks fizzled out, or is that door kind of closed at this point, would you say?
Look, I'll never say never. I've learned a lot in this business to say that, but no, it hasn't been any recent dialogue.
With some of these changes this offseason, maybe some of the hallmarks of this franchise under you and Dan has been kind of continuity and loyalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've hit a wall with maybe some financial restrictions you talked about. So you've had to say goodbye to some guys that have been a big part of this, whether Alex, Amik, Khalif. How difficult is that part of the job, because you haven't had to do that a whole lot up till this point?
That's a great question, Justin, because that has been one of the hardest things. And it's not just because of the bonds you form with them. Like, yeah, that organically kind of happens, but those guys have been good players for us, man. So they're good in the locker room. They're great teammates. They're good players. They were productive. They were the right guys to have. And look, it's hard because we love to keep them all, but you just can't. And those are the hard decisions you make. But I try to be as transparent as possible with the players and their agents, and just to make sure that there's no lack of clarity. But I always, if there's a possibility, I try to be as clear as that, is that there's a possibility. If I have a good indication that it's like, I don't think we're going to be able to afford you, you just got to have that, conversation with them. And it's tough, but I do think that they respect the truth and just telling them like, hey, look, we're going to try, but it's going to be hard because we got some constraints. And, whether it's the player or the agent, or, some players or the agent just say, I just don't know if we would love to have you. I just don't know if we're going to financially be able to get it done.
So the need or the choice to inject some fresh blood into this building, into this team, how much did last year's maybe disappointing finish play into that? Or was that really just a financially driven decision that you guys made?
No, I don't think it was really a financial decision. Look, now that was a bad taste. That was a bad taste. And the whole time, as let's call it the 2 months worth of just scouting and evaluating free agents, that is like constantly in my head. That's written up on my whiteboard. And so that's why I knew that we just like, we had to do the best we can. And we had to, from our standards, nail this free agency the best way possible. And look, I'm not going to say anything is perfect, but we feel really, really good with what we were able to accomplish. But it just kind of happened to come out that way. But we weren't like, we got to get younger. Like that wasn't the intention. It was just like, it just happens to be the right players that we wanted to target. The players that we wanted to bring back just kind of happened to fit in that mold.
Hey. Well, I can say this. One thing, I don't know if we gonna win anything with these guys. But one thing that I can say that I respect, excuse me, I respect the guy that is willing to go down with the ship for their beliefs. Brad Holmes ain't changed nothing. He hasn't changed nothing. So you weren't trying to get younger. You just happened to get younger. So what that tells you is that Cam Jordan at 37 years old, who is still putting up numbers, by the way, is the perfect player for this team. It's just a matter of money, which is, I don't got no problem with that. But Cam Jordan ain't coming to this team because Cam Jordan going to cost more than $6 million. So you got younger by happenstance. You weren't trying to get younger. You just got younger. That's what he said. Did I hear him wrong? He said he wasn't trying to get younger. He was trying to get the best players that fit, and they happen to be younger. I kid you not. The Detroit Lions fan base, you better thank Jacksonville every day for being the idiot organization that they were at the time and taking Trayvon Walker. Because without that, Aiden Hutchinson is not on our team. Aiden Hutchinson is the perfect player for Brad Holmes. He checked every single box. And Jacksonville passed on him. He checked every single box for the Lions. Wow. So you weren't, wait. Let me get this straight. So this is the same guy that's planning for sustained success, but he didn't intentionally try to get younger. It just happened. That's what he said, ladies and gentlemen. But y'all mad at me because I pointed out. What you mad at me for? It's the same, oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. That's why the dudes want to punch me in the face, because they mad because I'm styling on them. That's what he said. Did I hear incorrectly, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, Braylon said I heard him right. So you want your general manager to sustain success by getting players who just happen to, that wasn't part of his plan. How you going to build for success? And you got 37-year-olds on the team. So Alexander Zaloni, he wasn't too old. He just wanted more money. He wanted more money. I'm just saying. So when you talk about, so any player that's on the team is happenstance. it wasn't planned. Brad, I just don't, it's an oxymoron to me. It's like winning the Super Bowl with the oldest team in the league. That's crazy, bro.
I want to bring up a very under-discussed, overlooked.
Jeff has 2 questions in this entire video. He looks bored. It don't seem like much collective to me now, does it? And let the brother ask some questions. I'm talking about the brother and the brother. And let the brother ask some questions. Sick of all the, where the brothers at?
Cast aside topic in this town.
Yeah.
Edge rusher. It's about time, Brad, someone talks about edge rusher in this town. You guys have tried different players across from Hutch over the past few seasons. None have really stuck from year to year. AQM seemed like a great signing last year. Of course, 11 sacks. He signs for similar money as in Tampa as you guys gave Wanham to sign here. Can you just explain your thought process in choosing in some ways Wanham over Al-Quadin Muhammad?
And Al-Quadin is older. And that's a good question, Will. That's a good question. That's a good question. Finally.
Actually, it wasn't one of it didn't come down to that. It didn't come down to this player versus the other. He was another one that I knew what we needed to do on the offensive line. We were all very aware of what we were going to do on the offensive line. And so once we made those financial commitments on the offensive line, I pretty much had a good sense that I don't think that we're going to be able to do much else when it comes to that position.
So what does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What does that tell you, bro? Holy smokes. That tells you I told y'all DJ was going to be the starter. I told you that. Now, this is all draft. It ain't nobody needle moving coming to this team. Ain't nobody needle moving. You rather give it to Borum. You gave it to Cade Mays, understandably. Brad told you he did not care about the pass rush. He told you that. Now you going to listen, ain't you? This tea is hot too, by the way. That's why I'm looking like this. It's hot. He told you. He told you, bro. He don't care nothing about Aiden Hutchinson, bless his heart. You better pray for that man every day. If you pray on the daily, you better pray. You better pray. Drop down and say something. Because he gonna play another 100,000 snaps, bro. He played 90% of the snaps on defense and still had 14 sacks. That's funny, bro. He told you. We had to give the money to the O-line. We had to prioritize that. Understand, we got it. But he's told you several times now, he does not care like we do. And then Al-Qadim Muhammad had to go out and get 11 sacks on a budget of $1.5 million. Brad is the type that tried to squeeze all the drops out the lemon. All of them. And when you be like, Brad, it ain't no more juice in that lemon, bro. It's time to get a new. Nope. I'm squeezing some more. Lemon dried in the mug, and you still squeezing it. That's Brad Holmes. That's your general manager, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy.
But that's another expensive position. Like what they call it, it's a premium position. So,
what you know about?
Basically,
you know about premium. You know about premium positions. What you know? You understand that? Define aggressive. How you know about premium positions when you ain't know how to define aggressive? Stop it.
It wasn't like we're choosing this player over that player. I wouldn't even say the financials were exactly the same,
Sure.
As well. But just once we made that decision for the offensive line, we made that commitment. It kind of took us out of some of those other options at edge rusher, including Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge fan of Muhammad. I mean, like I was so happy for what he did last year. He was
bro. Our defense is literally not better. It's literally not better. Now, yes, you gotta keep Jared Goff upright, but it's not. The defense is literally not better.
A player that had great dialogue with, but just weren't able to make it happen. So
hey, yo, I'm calling Cap. Because that ain't what Al-Qadim seemed like happened. He was like, I don't know. I don't really care. So I'm calling Cap on that whole great dialogue. He capping.
Again, but we're very excited about finding Wanham. Always been a fan of him coming out, especially when he was in the division. He did a lot of great things. He had some things that he had to overcome, but watching his tape last year, it was impressive, and they had him doing some things that were kind of, I would say, probably not right in his wheelhouse. I mean, a lot of dropping and showing some athletic ability in the middle of the field that was refreshing to see. But he can still he can set edges, he can set hard edges, and he can still win rushes. And he can play all up and down the line. So we're excited to get him.
I know you said it wasn't either or with those two guys, but you didn't start Muhammad in any of the 17 games last year, and obviously Wanham is that early down player. Is there a stylistic element that is important to you in that position that you needed to address?
Yeah, like we've always been pretty clear about the importance of setting edges in the run game for our defense in the way that we play. Now, look, at the end of the day, when the first thing you think about when you talk edge rusher, I mean, you better get out the quarterback. That's not. You can set edges all day, but if you're not getting after the quarterback, then it is what it is. And look, Muhammad.
When was the last time Marcus Davenport got out to the quarterback? I'm sorry.
Even if he wasn't, the games that he didn't start and all that, but he was getting after the quarterback, but to have the ability to set edges, because I think that's when we're at our best defensively, is to stop the run. If you just are speedballing after the quarterback, then you can get gashed a lot. So
So we were good. we were pretty good against the run, and we were still getting gashed. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no! Wait, Brad. Come on, bro. Oh, so You got to be really good at stopping the run, below average of getting to the quarterback, because if you do that, you'll get gashed. But the Lions was getting gashed anyway. Who wrote this stuff, bro? Who did? Oh. Yo. Hey, I don't even have to make. The Lions was like, do you know where we finished versus the pass? And that was with getting sacks. Oh, I wish I still had my. Oh, hold on. I wish I still had all my stuff in all my Oh Lord. Wow. I mean, look, I don't, y'all, look, what you be mad at? Maybe y'all will lay off me now. Maybe y'all will lay off me. Y'all, I mean, oh, I'm gonna have to lay down. The more you talk, the worse you look. I gotta say that again. Who, Boomer? Me, Boomer? Me? If so, tell me how. If so, tell me, explain yourself. Because I'm not the one saying this stuff. Explain yourself, my brother. All right, I'll see if you say something. We can get back to the interview.
How it come around where, yeah, this was the right move. It may not look like it that year, but it's circling around. So I just think if you keep chasing the need thing, it's another contract's gonna expire. You may lose another player.
Hold on, did I miss something?
You keep chasing need. It's like,
hold on. Okay, so I missed a little bit because it was still playing that whole time. I missed a little bit. Oh, I didn't know, Boom. I was about to say, bro, like I didn't know.
But again, one of those players that we tried to make move for was Isaac Tesla. Last year, like he was a player. And I try to be as transparent as I can.
Oh Lord, I missed a lot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna go.
Than anyone else in the building. How frustrating is it when the need doesn't line up with? I think that's
ability to set edges, because I
okay,
think that's
here we go. My bad, y'all.
At our best defensively is to stop the run. If you just are speed balling after the quarterback, then you can get gashed a lot. So there is a balance, and that's something that DJ Wanham's going to be able to do for us.
Brad, I feel like most fans, I don't want to say most, but most fans know edge rushers can be expensive. I think that's why there's a natural fascination with the draft to find one, because that's a cheap place to get good talent there. I believe the last time the organization drafted an edge rusher on day 1 or day 2 was 2022 with Josh Pascal. When you see that, I guess
we got Hutch in 20.
You got yes, but I believe Pascal was second round after that. Yeah.
You said day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
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 Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do I have to play that again? Hold on. I gotta play it. Hold on. I'm trying to, I can't see.
Time the organization drafted an edge rusher on day 1 or day 2 was 2022 with Josh Pascal.
Yo, Colton was right. Colton was right. Bro, how you not gonna even know? Wow, Colton. Ooh, yo.
When you see that, I guess
We got Hutch in 20s.
You got yes, but I believe
You see,
Haskell's second round
you
after.
see how everything goes back to Hutch? Dog, how you don't even, I don't even got to do nothing. Colt, we had to run it back. Colton said 21st or second round. He said day 1 or day 2. And what happened? Brad instantly went to Hutch in 2022. That's because Hutch is all he care about. That's it. Hutch need a new team. We gonna kill him. How you not gonna know? You so busy trying to correct somebody that you got it wrong, dog. All you heard was all you heard was pass rusher. That was close. Yeah, that was hey. Oh, I'm sick. I'm sick, y'all. Gotta put a P on that, Derek. Gotta put a P on that. This guy. Oh, wow. Okay, so I almost broke my streak. Oh, man. I'm gonna need a shower. Bro, because I am on fire. Oh, man. Whoo. Hey. So you didn't even know. If I would have added that extra, I would have been cooked, y'all. All you heard was pass rusher, and you instantly focused on Aiden, because Aiden, dog, I'm telling you, we need to pray for Hutch, bro. Oh,
But yeah,
You said day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
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 Gotcha.
Dog. Your general manager, Melvin Bradley Matthias, don't even remember when he took Josh. That just tells you that he don't care about the pass rush. We got smartest.
He is the life of parties he has never attended. If he were to punch you in the face, you would have to fight off the strong urge to thank him. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I may not know when I drafted Josh Pascal. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Oh, no. Oh. Hold on, I'll be back. Woo. Oh, man. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man. Hey. Oh, man. Whew. Let me let it adjust. This is tiresome, man. Okay. Whew.
I guess with that in mind, you said last year that there were attempts to go get an edge rusher in the draft. How frustrating is it when you want that?
Yo, now Brad, this is when he about to get defensive. Brad is about to get defensive. Now you can tell he don't like these edge rusher questions, bro. He hates this. I got it. Somebody check on Jeff, bro. Jeff need that sad, you know, what's that sad music? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Position are you? I'm sure you want an edge more than anyone else in the building. How frustrating is it when the need doesn't line up with the board? I guess when those draft processes play out.
It's not frustrating. Look, when it comes to the draft, you just have favorites of just players in general, and I try to be as transparent as I can with that, like openly about when it comes to the draft. You guys may not like it, I always say, like, we don't chase need, but if it does line up, it lines up. I want to say the whole outside corner thing was a big thing until we got Terry on and then Rakestraw and all that. But it wasn't no, we don't like outside corners. It was just like, it has to be the right player. And so it just happens to line up. So I don't get frustrated when, we miss out on a certain position. It's just frustrating if you miss out on a certain player, regardless of a position. But, no, those were certain players that we tried to make moves for that we just weren't able to do. But one of those players that we tried to make move for was Isaac Tesla. Last year, like, he was a player that we coveted very, very highly, and we were able to go and get. So it's always going to be players more so over position. And the reason why I keep saying is that this league, it flips, and these rosters flip every single year. So what may be a perceived need at the time, when you're drafting a player, especially in the high rounds, in the first round, the second round, I always go back to Jack Campbell in 23. We didn't have a need at inside linebacker. We just loved the player. And so we just took the player that we liked the most at that pick. And I think now it come around where, this was the right move. It may not look like it that year, but, it's circling around. So I just think if you keep chasing the need thing, it's another contract's going to expire. You may lose another player, and you keep chasing need. It's like, well, okay, you thought this was a need. So that's why I've always been more like, let's just get the best player. So probably a long-winded answer, but just want to be clear. And we're always going to have that approach. But when it does line up, like in 2024, when it does line up where there is a need and you do like the player, that is the best of both worlds for sure.
Notice he mentioned the worst draft possible. So in 2024, there was a need and the best players that fit them. And that was the worst draft he had. And we ain't needed an edge rusher for 4 years. You drafted up, you coveted Broderick Martin and Sione Vaki. I think the more he talks, the worse it looks.
Is that the best feeling?
Yes, it is. It is.
Speaking of those traded time.
Ahoy, hoy, 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 hoy. Ahoy, ahoy. I mean, Lord have mercy. Hey, somebody go check on Jeff. Jeff like, hey, yo, I'm here so I don't get fined. This was not the collective. This was the collective and Jeff. They're never going to let the voice of the fan base be the loudest.
Is there any, and I'm going to try to get a story out of you here.
Yeah,
Is there any insight you can share into just how those conversations went? Was it harder to trade up than you thought? If you're trying to get someone at a higher spot than where you're drafting, like what kind of was that process, I guess?
Yeah. Well, what we were kind of running into a little bit is when you start trying to trade picks, and especially future picks, what we were running into a little bit of is the trajectory of where people thought our team was going, especially when it comes to future picks. When some of these moves that you're trying to make, you have to involve future picks. Well, our future picks were getting discounted, and they were kind of, and so we're kind of getting slapped on the wrist a little bit for that. So it was just like, trying this future pick, then it's like, oh no, that's really I know what that number says. It's really a 3, but that's really a, and so that was one of the issues that we had to navigate through, that made it a little bit harder at times than others to make some trades that we were trying to do.
And then last one, do you feel like you've set yourself up well enough in free agency with some of the moves you made, getting DJ in here, Peyton Turner, to just maybe pass on an edge if the moment comes and there's a player rated highly on your board?
Look, I don't think you can ever have enough of those guys. Right. Really, like we're excited about the guys that we got at that position, but I don't think you can ever have enough of them. So I don't think, again, if it's the right player, that happens to play that position, then that's a player that we'll covet. But again, I always say, man, like, if we draft that position and that player is not producing, what are you guys going to say?
Dog, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, isn't that your job, Brad? Who cares what we got to say? This is your job. This is your job. Was that a real statement? That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. What are you guys going to say? You just said you take the best available player for you. So who cares what we have to say? You can't be serious. Now you care what we have to say? What? It's what we do. It's what we do. It's not our job to pick players. It's our job to dream. It's our job to hope and wish. It's your job to do that. Who cares what we have to say? Positional value villain. What is this? Why has no one mentioned Broderick Martin yet? Which you traded up to get. I have a massive headache. That's how I am. You can't be serious. You are the general manager. You have a whole team in place not to make mistakes. We want to know that you have a sense of urgency, Brad. And signing has-been players is not that. You drafted Ennis Rakestraw. Why is no one talking about him? Why is it just with edge rushers? Why is it just with Bro, I will never talk bad about Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not doing it. When this man has to do everything, he coming back from a wicked season-ending injury, playing 90% of the snaps and had a career high. He's gotten sacks every year higher than the previous year until he got hurt. I am not saying another negative word. I don't care what he lacking. I'm not saying nothing negative about him, bro. This Brad cannot be real. Brad is AI. Brad is AI, bro. What are we going to say? That's crazy. But you want to scream in the elevator when you took Jahmyr Gibbs, saying, now what? Who cares, bro? Oh, now all of a sudden you care about what we think? Stop it. Dog, stop this.
Pick.
You guys gonna say, oh man. But and in the moment, you guys, man, they drafted that edge. They drafted that whatever that position is. But no, we it has to be the right player, because that's why I said,
look. That is going to be the death of this team. This right player nonsense. Look, they got 2 years. If I'm Sheila, I'm watching this, I'm saying you got 2 years. You got 2 years. You did all that talk about evolving, and you barely did. You have 2 years, bro. That's it.
all the time. It's easy to just draft a certain position.
I cannot stand this. Is it, Brad? Is it? Was it easy to take Broderick? Was it easy to take Vaki? Was it easy to take Ennis Rakestraw? That was easy, right? Was it easy to have, arguably, your worst draft in 2024? It was easy, though, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I am losing it. I am losing it, bro. All of this is starting to get to me. This is starting to get to me, bro. I got people that openly want to punch me in my face because I have a different opinion. I have people, I just watching what this space is become, it's bothering me. It really is. Why is Jeff so quiet? Because he can't really say anything. I'm not doing I'm adding to what he's saying. Am I supposed to slurp this up? He's saying these things. I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies in his statements. But I'm the villain here. This is crazy, bro. Somebody said in my comment section, that they wish I got beef with other podcasters. No, I don't. They have beef with me. Because I'm the only, look, there's only a handful of us that keep it $1.50. That's it. That's it. Every true Lions fan who wants to win a Super Bowl should be ripping this entire segment up. And this is not a shot at all the glass half full guys. Those guys need to be out there. The David Pikes, Motor City Mania, they need to be out there, bro. They need a balance to me. But these same players thing, these players that fit our team, this is going to be the downfall of this current regime. It really is. Thank you, Boom. I got some upstairs, bro. Tylenol money. I appreciate that. I mean, you said all of that stuff. You said all of that stuff about evolving, and you've done nothing. And then you have contradictions in your statements with Broderick Martin. Do you understand what this means for both Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes? You wanted Broderick Martin so bad that you traded up for him, and he was a colossal failure. In a year that we went to the NFC Championship game, the way that I think about it is, do you know that we could have used 3 extra players to help win that game? Instead, we had a guy that wasn't on the field. It's just tough, man. It's tough to be in this situation, from Twitter to, from YouTube and all of this stuff, man. It's just, I started this channel because I was a fan. I talk Lions because I'm a fan. That's it. The minute that my passion is not there, I'm done. 32,000 subscribers deep, I'm done. Y'all helped me a lot. You helped me a lot because I know that there are people that understand where I'm coming from. And when people tell me, Derek, I watch you because you're a fan, bro. And that's the biggest compliment you can give me, is I'm a fan of the team, which is I've never inspired or intended to be anything else. But this is I need to know and we'll be off soon. I need to know, how did we, like, what reasoning do we have to think that this man is going to take us to distance? Like, he hasn't done it. You better hope that an edge rusher, that Brad Holmes, that the perfect player is an edge rusher. That's what you better hope. So you better scout in all your mock drafts, the edge rusher or a left tackle or right tackle. You better hope that they're the best player, whoever you think that is, that fits us, because they don't even have to be the best player, ladies and gentlemen. They have to be the best player that fits us, which means you can be an okay player, but you the best player that fits us. Hence why Jalen Carter's not on his team. If you wanted him.
I think you could do that every round, but I think I was on one of my rants about the positional value things probably a year or two ago, and I saw one of the members of the media. I was on my rants for, you can draft a position every round, but and then one of the guys kind of said silently, like, "Boy, you have to be good players." And I was like, "Well, yes, that's the thing that we run into." But yeah, no, it's not going to be. I don't think edge rush or any position going to be ignored, but we're happy with the guys that we have right now. But if the right player's there, absolutely.
Brad, bigger picture on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You've talked about a few times your free agency focus ended up, whether it was intended or not, to be your offensive line. That's where the budget went. Yeah. And so, just, I don't want to be disrespectful to the guys you signed. Like, that's important, but Amik got what he got. Alex got what he got. Mm-hmm. AQM got what he got. Those were bigger deals than the guys you signed. Mm-hmm. And so it looks like you've taken a step back there. Mm-hmm. That looks like also the unit that needed more work coming out of last season. Yep. Your offense has been top 5 for feels like a decade now. Yep. So given where you're at with that, how much work do you still feel like you have to do on the defense here between now and training camp or start of the offseason program?
Yeah, I don't think that work ever stops. Look, I've always been a big proponent of, man, there's certain things that have titles on them, like free agency is the first calendar event that has a title on it after the season ends. So everybody's fired up, and sometimes you can get lost into this is the only time you can add a players during free agency. And it's like, no, it's not. And then the draft comes around. This is the only time you can have players in the draft. And then the trade deadline comes up. The only time it's nonstop. It's endless. And so we will never take the approach that we have done if, because I think this league is too hard to ever have that stance. So it's always going to be more work to be done. Now, if you're looking at if a roster's gotten better or worse by the contracts or the number values. Now look, you just brought up a player that signed for a bigger deal, but when we signed a player, it was less. And so I guess I'm saying that to say you don't really know what the value is going to be until the games are starting to kick off. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's where the evaluation and the months and months and months of evaluation and the deep dive analysis and all that work that has to go on behind the curtains, that's when it's going to show. So if there's a guy that we signed, maybe it was men's salary, and it's like, well, he signed for minimum salary, so that can't be, but he ends up playing a big role and is becoming a productive player for us and helping us win games. Then the next year he gets a bump in pay. And I was like, wait, hold on, man. This guy got paid this much, but the guy that you added got paid. Well, we did that the year before, with the same player. So I'm not knocking that stance, but I do think you have to kind of wait until the games kick off to really make a real accurate assessment. And really, that's what all this stuff is anyways. I mean, like, nobody knows what's going to happen right now. Like, we're doing the best we can to position ourselves to be the best team that we can be right now. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think you can say, well, they paid this money for this guy and they paid this much money for this guy and they drafted it. At the end of the day, you won't know until those games start to kick off. And, you know, some players that you may have thought may have been, you know, just depth pieces may end up being like major contributors. And I think that's the fascinating part about this league that we're going to find out about.
All right. So we only got like 12 minutes to go. So remember I told y'all that, first of all, let me just tell one thing, okay? And I'm gonna say this as gentle as possible. So freedom of speech is in America, right? You are in Detoria right now. You are in the United States of YouTube, and the state that you're in is Detoria. Shout out to Pretoria, Family Guy. If you know, you know. So that stuff doesn't exist over here. This is my chat, which I literally have control over, and my moderators have control over it as well. So if you come in with some free speech nonsense, that doesn't apply over here. Just so you know. It doesn't, that's not how this works. So now that we got that out the way, this is more and more of a PR piece than anything else. I'm seeing that now. Brad Holmes, remember I told you guys that I would know by May 1st if he was the guy. He just explained his philosophy. So Bargain Bin Brad is exactly who he is. Here's Brad Holmes. He would much rather. New Money says, tell me 5 general managers not named Brad Holmes. I don't care nothing about them, bro. I don't have to tell you anything. I don't have to tell you anything. All it takes is one. We have no Super Bowls. What are you talking about? I don't understand y'all. That's how y'all are, bro. Just Brad should let y'all rub his bald head when he see him. He could probably make some good money. Go get some baby oil from Diddy. Go buy some Johnson & Johnson and lather it up and let y'all rub it. What are we talking about? It's always the argument. Find someone better. We're looking for the best every single year. But that's okay, though, because you will remain the loser that your team is. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a trophy anywhere that says Super Bowl anything. So until that happens, shut up. You don't have anything to say. You don't have anything to say. Well, name 5 general managers that's better. I don't have to. I can name one. Here's all that matter. One. The winner of the Super Bowl every year. But he's got general manager of the year twice. No one cares about that. No one cares. Look, coaches of the year. Dan Campbell has not won coach of the year. And guess what? 2 guys who won it are fired. So what does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. When you just can't be anybody better. Every general manager that has won a Super Bowl over the last 5 years. How about that? How about that? The Seahawks, the Chiefs, Howie Roseman, and who else? And who else? Whoever's won the Super Bowl in the last 5 years are better than Brad Holmes. Period. This is what's wrong with y'all. This is what's wrong with y'all, bro. He can make some good money. Get a bunch of baby oil. Spread, look, a squirt in the hand. Give you 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. How much money you think he can make? 30 seconds. So Brad, what he likes to do, so nobody can tell you he's not bargain ban anymore. He is 100%. He literally just described the bargain ban. He wants, this is what Brad is doing, okay? Here's what Brad is. He's like a reseller. If you know about reselling, you get a price, you buy something, and then you hike it up. You buy something for $10, you sell it for $25. You got a profit of $15. That's what Brad is. He buys something in the bargain bin. When it becomes more valuable, he tries to flip it. In this case, he just lets it go. You also have, you go and you're trying to take a dollar store toy and telling your child to play. You know what? This toy is going to last you for 5 years. That's what he literally just described his entire, so nobody can say anything. Brad Holmes is a bargain bin. He stays in Five Below, the dollar store, the clearance aisle. That's where, look, I used to buy all my stuff in clearance. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Wait till that season hit, go in there and get some stuff. When winter come and get some shorts. When summer come and get some pants. Hey, sometimes it ain't nothing wrong with the clearance, but every now and then, you can splurge on an outfit, right? He just described his entire philosophy.
And I apologize if you've been asked this previously at the combine.
Hold on, yeah. Finally. How many questions is it for Jeff? This is question number 3 or 4 for Jeff. Finally.
I was there, but I wasn't able to ask you a question.
You were at the combine?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
I
don't
let
think
the pros handle it. You know what I mean? I'm
You're just in the background.
Yeah. But I did want to ask you. So I know you don't pay attention to too many other teams, but at least looking at the Super Bowl teams that are participants, typically you see these teams have really good defenses or top 5 scoring defenses.
Yep.
And it's the tale of this time. Defense wins championships. Kind of what is your confidence level? I know you spoke about you won't know till you get to see the team on the field, but at least with retaining pretty much every defensive coach and rolling this unit out, what's kind of your confidence level that they can get to that point or at least be an elite level defense?
Oh, shout out to Jeff. You know what? Jeff just gained so much respect from me. He gained so much respect from me, bro. I gotta give Jeff a round of applause, man. Because he has been, no question, has disappointed. What is New Money talking about? Guess Brad needs so many weapons on offense to be mid. Guess Brad hasn't won a Super Bowl, bro. Hey, end of discussion. That's it. So you can guess what the entire time. You go right in here. Wow. Marco, that's terrible, bro.
High confidence, just because, look, the things that, Shep, the things that I thought Shep did last year and his evolution as a coach and him seeing the big picture was very encouraging. And so I think sky's the limit for him. And then with Dan and then the rest of our defensive coaches and then with the personnel that we have. Highly, highly encouraged and very excited about where this thing can go for sure.
So basically, the fan questions he can't have. No wonder Jeff look. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yo. He did not answer the question. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you, homie. We appreciate you, big dog.
I think this is now the 3rd time that I've asked you this offseason, so I apologize. But I want to bring up Kirby Joseph again.
Yeah.
Is there any update at the combine and at the end of season press conference? Is there any update you can share on his health? I think there's a lot of fears based on a potentially chronic injury that he might never be the player he was again in 2024. What's the realistic outlook for him entering 2026?
Yeah, look, we don't have a crystal ball, but I know that I just saw him the other day, and he's working hard. He's training, he's rehabbing, doing groundwork and all that kind of stuff. So, we're going to have a better assessment about that. Probably, in probably about a few weeks, and it's very kind of just ongoing, really. But I think he's in a good spot that he can be in right now.
Okay, so I got to apologize to Justin because that is Will breathing into the mic. I thought it was Justin, but that is Will. Will is the one that's breathing into the mic.
And we'll just kind of just continue to assess him. But, his spirits are good. He was the same.
Hey, do not put Brad's number in this chat. Do not do that. That is called doxing, and you will be doxed from this channel. Do not put anybody's personal information in this chat, okay? If that's a thing, do not do it. You will never appear on this channel ever again. Ever.
Kirby, good attitude, bright eyes, smile on his face. So, and we just kind of keep having the regular check-ins with the medical staff and on his progress. But
no, Braylon, I wasn't talking to you. It wasn't directed at any one person.
Yeah, we just kind of keep monitoring it and see how it's going.
I'll ask you again in a month.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Same position.
But I might have more intel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, in a month, the draft will be over, so we'll see.
Just got a little bit, I guess, more of a understood injury.
Yeah.
No. Listen. Okay, if it's a joke, it's fine. If I was just saying, because I didn't want anybody to do it if it was real. So that's all. It's over with.
Like every medical procedure, there's just been so many advancements in guys getting back to full strength. When you look at that evaluation, because it's maybe a little bit more critical because of the contract talk in there as well.
Yep.
Do you have players you've looked at that have come back from that injury to pre-injury level that give you confidence that he'll get to that level as well?
I actually have, and I don't want to say the player, but there was a guy that I saw recently that had a similar injury and saw his movement skills and was like, wow, you would have. Like I wouldn't have known that he had that injury. So I thought that was the most recent example that I thought was very encouraging. Now we've run a lot of data and analysis and a lot of deep dives just on that injury and all that stuff, obviously. But yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because it was fairly recent that I saw the exposure of the player, and I was just like, wow. I was like, that's pretty encouraging. So yeah, there's been success stories, and but just hoping for the best in his recovery. I know he's working hard. He's got the right mindset, and so again, just like Kirby, we'll just kind of continue to monitor, seeing how he's progressing and to see where it goes.
You do have.
All right, so he was talking about Kirby. Did not sound encouraging. There's a lot of hope in that statement. Not encouraging at all.
Thomas Harper and Christian Izien, who can step in at safety. Do you like what you have there with those guys, or do you still feel a need to maybe add some more competition and depth in that room?
Competition makes everybody better. Just like, kind of what I said about with Jeff about, just whether it's edge rusher or any position, it's always going to be adding more. So I definitely think I like the guys that we have. Thomas Harper, we had, got off a waiver claim, at the end of camp last year, had played a lot of good special teams before we had got him. That was kind of the vision for him really coming in, but due to circumstances had to play a lot. And I think those are valuable reps, but, whether he's playing a lot or if he's not playing as much defensively, he's a really good special teams player. So really excited about him. And then with Izien, kind of the same deal, obviously kind of came in more of a nickel, but had the opportunity to play some safety just because he's got the movement skills. He's wired right. He's physical. He's urgent. And he's another one he's a really good special teams player. So I think that we have good flexibility there. But again, whether it's the safeties, corner, it's D-line, linebacker, offensive line, we're gonna keep adding, man. We're gonna keep adding because I think, competition makes everybody better.
Maybe points to how weird the job can be sometimes. We read the court report with Terrion. We've read his attorney statement. Just seems like a fluid situation. I'm just wondering, like, you're managing a roster. Like, how much do you have to stay on top of that? And is there even a little concern that you may not have him for some portion of next season?
Well, look, you control with what you can control. You're aware of everything, so that's probably about the most that I can say about that. But I could say there's not one thing that you're not aware of that you don't think about. So, whether any situation, whether it's something that a player went through off the field or something that a player is going through on the field from a medical standpoint, I'm just more of a let's call it a pessimistic planner, in terms of like I just like to prepare myself for that. I'm not saying that something's going to come out the worst, but that's how I prepare on all situations. But I always hope for the best as well. So that's kind of my way of saying that we look at every single, avenue and every single possible outcome and make sure that we're prepared.
2 corners in the first 3 rounds is what I just heard.
Final question for you. You haven't wavered. You mentioned at the start of the interview how you want to re-sign that 2023 class because you got 4 dudes in there that are all pro caliber. Where are you at least looking at a timeline? How realistic is it for fans or maybe yourself to expect that those guys will be signed maybe the next year or so to get those contracts done?
Yeah. We haven't like earmarked pinpoint accurate dates yet. What we have is we've had dialogue with their agents, whether it's either at the combine or whatever. But so we've had dialogue. So make sure that the players aren't in the dark or in the gray in terms of what to expect. And we just got to keep the dialogue healthy. But we don't have like pinpoint marks. Right. It could happen, could happen before the draft, could happen after the draft. It could happen, over the summer. But we have interest on all those players. We would like to keep them all.
Brad, just one more from me on that front. Do you feel like you need to see what Brian and Sam look like coming off of major surgeries or injuries before deciding that you can commit to them long term, or are you already comfortable with that prospect?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's probably the obvious thing is you would if a player is not available or has endured an injury, you would like to see the player move around, but that's not saying that that's the end all be all when it comes to those situations. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going full 60 minutes with some of these questions, Brad, but this came up last week and I thought it was important to kind of toss it to you to give you a chance to address it, but caught fire a little bit that maybe you and Dan were having more disagreements behind the scene on the roster. And so I think we saw for the first 4 years, like this thing was on a steady incline, and when things are on a steady incline, like everything's easy, but all decisions you've talked about are joint. You've talked about disagreement is expected, healthy, you welcome it. I'm just wondering, have the conversations been, can we characterize them as more intense when you have a season that is that first step back and maybe you're trying to figure out how to get it back on the track you wanted it?
I think the only intensity I would say is just that when you have a disappointment of a season like we had, it's more intense in terms of, I think what I spoke about at the end of the season press conference is that it is a deeper, harder look from top to bottom on everything. And that's what me and Dan have done in joint alignment. So that would be the only intensity that was probably a little further, because you get this eye opener. It's like, whoa, hold on now. And so let's just make sure that we're not overlooking something, or if there's not a tweak or an adjustment that needs to be done. So I would say that would be the intensity. That's what's happening. I don't know where the other stuff came from, but no, I mean, if anything, it's me and Dan, in total lockstep like we always have been. Yeah. And, we're just kind of looking at everything top to bottom, which we already have done. And that we'll continue to do for sure.
Brad, one thing Dan has kind of mentioned at various points in the offseason is wanting to add more competition. You've talked about it a couple more times in this podcast. Do you feel like you've accomplished that in free agency, and how much more can you add in the draft and to a point where you feel comfortable there?
I think we have, and we're not done yet. Like we're not done yet. Like we're still, we got our eyes open leading all the way up until the draft. So this thing's not over with yet. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. Don't take that as like the definite, because if we don't sign anybody and then you're going to say, but no, seriously, like we're still actively looking, still actively having discussions with players' agents. So we're not done. So wherever it's set now, we're going to keep adding. And then obviously when the draft comes, We're going to add as much as possible there with the right guys. And then when the draft's over, we're going to keep adding. We're going to keep adding post-draft. And I think we have a really good process for that as well, to identify those guys, because there's going to be, that's the cool thing about the draft is, you get the draft, you get those young guys that you're really excited about. But after the draft, man, there's some exciting guys that are available that have played a lot of ball that you can still add. So I think we have the right competition, but it's far from done yet.
Well, that'll wrap us up. Before we end the show here, I want to say, number one, thank you to the Detroit Lions organization, Lions PR, and Mr. Brad Holmes for being so gracious with his time. Also appreciate our sponsor, Dog and Pony Show Brewing. We have a live show planned there next month, so stay patient for the dates.
I think Brad might come out for that, right? At Dog and Pony Show Brewing, April 9th.
For some lagers. Big lager guy. But Brad,
I don't think I got my invite on that one.
Appreciate your time, my friend, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Appreciate it.
All right. We made it through it. I did not think it was going to take 3 hours, but I should have known with myself and how I do things and stuff like that. Shout out to the guys over there on Lions Collective. And shout out to Bros Pros with the super chat. Says, shocker, the GM is not going to say whether there is trouble in paradise. LOL, evolve, give me a break. I've seen UFL GMs do better. Shout out, did I miss anything else? I feel like I might have. Better the Hunt with the super chat says, is Brad a politician in disguise? I think that he is for sure. And we also got God Monkey with the super chat as well that says, if you don't got a humidifier, you can go to your bathroom and turn on the shower as hot as you can, steam it up, and it'll clear you up. Yeah, man, I still got to take a shower, God. It did help yesterday. What it was it was weird, man. It was like a sore throat that just popped out of nowhere and was wicked last night, man. Like, it was killing me. Now it was up high throat early today. Now it feels like it's lower down here. So hopefully by tomorrow, Thursday, it's completely gone. I haven't eaten, haven't really wanted to eat. I'll probably have some soup or some broth or something after we get off. But I had no intentions of making content today, but had to get on top of this. So shout out to the guys over on the collective. Shout out to Jeff and even the guys that asked a few tough questions. I think that this was probably, from a perspective of information, this was one of the best podcasts that this is one of the best times that we got a lot of information on Brad. Lots of information. I don't know if we've ever had a 50+ minute interview. It was no fluff, meaning it was nothing, no introductions, no nothing. Within the first minute of the segment, they were into questions, and that literally led up to the end of the show. I didn't learn anything new. It was confirmed of what I already did. And I was going to wait till after the draft, and I think I'm still going to wait. But the bottom line is Brad Holmes and both Dan Campbell, they have 2 years left on their deal. There was nothing in that interview that made me believe that this was the guy that's going to take us to the championship and win it. There was nothing he said. There was nothing he said that, and you know what? I don't like liars, right? And Brad Holmes is one of them. You know how you can lie by being deceptive. You might not outright tell a lie, but because you left out some information, you didn't tell the truth. And I think that's kind of where we are. Brad said last offseason that things were working, so they weren't going to change. And when you heard evolve when the season ended, I thought evolve as in make the players better, making the team better. But that's not what Brad meant. Brad meant evolve and change, that they are going to change, meaning they're not going to keep the same players. They're going to let some of these guys go. Maybe Josh Pascal is still a Detroit Lion if they don't evolve. So I guess in the bare sense of evolve, have the Detroit Lions evolved? Yes. Are they better because of it? No, they're not. He mentioned something about getting on the field, and this is why I think that this regime is done. I think these two guys are done. These two guys. I don't know about together. Like, as in a unit, I think they're done. I think that separately, one might outlast the other. I think this team is done. I think this regime is done. When you say that you are not going to, like, you're building for success and you haven't won anything, and I lost where I was going with that, but it had something about what Brad was saying about the bargain, how he was looking for players, with a bargain and stuff like that. Essentially, when you're, here it is. I talked myself back into it. The Lions players that he drafted well. They earned substantial size contracts. You're going to have to do that same thing. But why did they earn those contracts? It wasn't just the name, it was the production. Who do you believe? Be honest. Who do you believe they overpaid? Do you think it was St. Brown? Do you think it was Goff? Do you think it was Panay? Who do you think, Jameson Williams? It's okay if you think they overpaid somebody. Who didn't they overpay? Did they overpay Hutch? Okay, I don't think they did. Hutch is underpaid, if you ask me. That brother need another $5-10 million easy. So Brad, you use that same approach with people you didn't draft. You don't do that. So that's what it boils down to. It's about, you didn't draft these guys. You didn't draft Alex Anzalone. And he did confirm that he wants to keep both Brian Branch and Sam Laporta. So now I see him trying to make it work. We already knew that, though. We knew he was going to try his best to make it work. Aleem McNeil, I forgot about him. So if there's a lot of things that I'm convinced of. I am convinced that Brad is not going to take an edge rusher unless that edge rusher is perfect. Aiden was the perfect edge rusher that we didn't have a chance to get until Jacksonville made their decision. I am convinced, based off of many interviews, and finalized with this one. And I like the fact that they let him talk, because the more he talked, the clearer the picture was painted. So I'm glad they did this. This was the most candid that he has been since he's been general manager, in my opinion. And he said a lot. He said a lot, and he said nothing at the same time. But it's very clear as to where we're going. If this team is done, sell your season tickets. I said this regime is done. Clear out your ears. I did say this team, but I said regime before that. How about you shut your mouth, bro? I don't understand why people got to be here. You don't got to be here. You know what, King? It's a shame, bro. Because King, let me look at your profile picture real quick. I want to know who I'm talking to. Let me go to your channel so I can blow up your profile picture, because I want to look. Oh, King, you seem like a king. You seem like a cool dude. I would have invited you to the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I have an extra season ticket. You don't got to act like you know me. You can just act like you were sitting next to me. But then you had to go open your mouth and mess that up. Shut up. Shut up, bro. I'm tired of these people. See, how about you get some? Look, unless you already have some, I see why season tickets get a big head. They get a big head, man. They be walking around like they better than other people. We ain't better than other people. I can't believe that. I said I'm a season ticket holder. Maybe you are too, bro. If so, I see you there. Shut up. I can't with y'all, bro. I'm done. Because I love how you cherry picked your comment. You cherry picked your comment. Did you do that with Brad Holmes? You cherry picked his comments too? Let me see. What's up, Troy? Fully convinced Gibbs will be overpaid because they decide to turn him into a workhorse. RB, he does, and he goes down. Well, pray to God that it ain't what happened. Yeah, lots of insights from this, both from what he said and what he didn't say. Troy in the building. What up, Troy? Braylon says, bye, King. What's up, Larry? Good to see you, my friend. So with that being said, man, we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to put my voice on ice now. And I am going to probably take a shower and get back in the bed. Heat up some broth or something, sip that, and be done. I think that Brad the type of guy, like, I think I could have a drink with him. Have a drink with him, even though we just talked about we can't be drinking, but have a drink with him. And then I'd be like, Brad, we could be friends, but I'd be like, I gotta rip you up, right? On a professional level, I gotta come after you. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? And then we go out and we chop it up at the bar. Or, you know what I'm saying? We go out and, I don't know, have something to eat. But when it come to what we do about this team, it ain't no friendship at all. I gotta rip you up, bro. So I think overall, shout out to Jeff. Jeff tried to do his thing. And this is why I tell y'all that I don't care to be credentialed. It was cool that they got to sit and, but I don't care to, because it doesn't matter. He can't answer the questions we can ask. He can't answer. Think about this. If you let a fan ask you questions, you can't answer none of them. And then it's just going to make you look like an idiot. You can't answer any question. I wonder if there were things that it was like, okay, we're not going to discuss this, or because I'm still somebody please ask him about Broderick. Can somebody please ask him about Broderick? I need to know. Can somebody please ask him about Donovan Peoples-Jones? Can we get the answers? Inquiring minds want to know. With that being said, I appreciate everybody that's been here. We've had a steady viewership for the 3 hours that we've been on. I appreciate everybody. I watched it and I feel like he answered the questions pretty well. Okay, thank you. That's a very great opinion of yours. I just yelled from the bleachers, "We good, Brad? We good." That's funny. Yeah, that worked too, man. Shout out to you for doing that. Shout out. What about Marcus Davenport? Yeah, I would probably ask that question too. So with that being the case, man, I'm about to go back into my little cocoon and try to get this throat cleared up. Shout out to those guys over there, man. Shout out to you for rocking with me. And yeah, I'll see you in a few days probably, unless something else break out.